Everyone, welcome to tonight's game. As our cameras flick in, there we go. Welcome. I do appreciate you all here. Hope you're having a great time. Be sure to follow all these lovely folks and see all the amazing stuff they're doing, as well as thank our lovely benefactors over at The Forge for hosting it on their site. It's been a great pleasure using that and has really helped out. Without further ado, let's introduce you to the wonderful cast here. Starting off with, we'll start in the corner there, Azrael. How are you doing, man?
I'm doing really well, thank you. Currently at an offsite location. So I'm doing really well. It's been a good week. Really appreciate Matt's suggestions whenever I was doing my stream the other week, and I think I've gotten that fixed. So hopefully the next time I go live, trying to unite the Kingdom of Ireland and so Crusader Kings 3, it won't sound like a hot mess. Because it did. It did. It sounded like a hot mess. 5 hours of hot mess.
I wish I could have been actively more involved for you, man, but
Just,
I had to deal with other stuff.
if you want to inflict pain on your ears, then the VOD is real. I do not recommend it.
Well, I'm sorry about that,
I appreciate Matt's
Matt for the win. Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
What else do you have going on? Just that for right now? Is that the only thing planned?
I'm really trying to kind of figure out what I want to do, from a standpoint. There's so many games I want to play, and I don't know which one. I want to play Cyberpunk. I want to play ESO. I want to play New World. I want all these games, and most of them are MMOs. So they take fucking forever. But the one that I really want to nail down is Crusader Kings 3. So I'm starting off on the easy stuff, and I'm a pacifist by nature, so I'm trying to force myself into conflict to just.
Cyberpunk's a good game for you then.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Forced in
really
conflict.
Get my comfort zone for sure.
Yeah.
That's really all I've got going on right now.
Cool. Keep at it, man. It'll be awesome.
Everybody's welcome to join me. And follow the channel and figure out when I go live, and we'll have fun together.
Sounds awesome, man. That'll be great. And yeah, Crusader Kings is one that I thought about doing on the channel as well. But of course I'd have it modded, because I mod most things that I can.
I like achievements, so I tend to I had to turn Iron Man on, obviously, because Paradox Games likes to hide their achievements behind Iron Man mode, which is fine.
Yeah. I'd rather give up on the achievements and have a better story than
it's fair.
grab achievements, but it's all good. Well, awesome, man. Keep up the good work. Look forward to seeing you next time you play. Mr. Matt in the Hat. How is it going, sir?
Hello. I'm doing pretty good. I am in this sort of, I guess you might call it a transition mode, right? I had a bunch of time, and coming up here very soon, I am not going to have a bunch of time. So I am just getting myself ready for full-time study and 4 different weekly campaigns and a whole bunch of different things. And so, I don't know, it's just this nervous anticipation stuff and trying to get things ready for that, which means that my stream and that sort of taking a back foot a little bit, as this preparation and getting things all in line are just going on. So I've streamed a little bit less than I like or that I want. When I am streaming, I've got a weekly stream with Lady Vengeance, which is a Borderlands stream. We're going to be going through the whole series. We were going to do that on the weekend, but we're instead going to do that on Thursday this week due to those things. And just playing whatever other games I like. So I tried a little bit of The Room last week, which is like an escape puzzle kind of game. Very investigation, follow the clues, or just discover where the clues even are in the room kind of game. That was pretty fun, and I think I'll probably do more of that. I did enjoy it. It was pretty fun on stream, if a little frustrating from time to time, because I'm sort of just learning how that works, right? I haven't done too many escape rooms. I haven't done too many games that aren't very obvious. So it's about learning how to identify the things that it's not showing you, right? So that's pretty good, and I'll do some Crusader Kings from time to time as well, and just whatever other games come up. I especially like building games, which I'll probably be getting into. We'll see. It'll just be whatever happens. But I'm a little less regular than I was as I've been preparing for real life.
Real life does that to us all, man. So good luck with it. Keep it up. You're doing awesome.
Thank you.
And last but not least, my fellow player on Death of the Deities, Dimensional. What's happening over in your neck of the woods? Lots of swamps.
am nearly done with The Witcher. It's almost time. It is almost time to retire the first Witcher game.
Nice.
It's been a journey. I got to chapter 5 last night. So if what I looked up is accurate, I have chapter 5 and the epilogue to finish. We'll be done with the first Witcher.
Are you doing a completionist run, or are you just trying to get through the story?
Hell. Hell no. So I've thought about it, and like there's a part of me that wants to go back and replay it and do all the side quests because I've skipped so much. But then there's another part of me that's like, I don't want to do all this running back and forth ever again in this game. It's my chat calls it walking simulator. That's how much running back and forth I've done. So plus I'm picking up a physical copy of the Metroid Prime Remastered on the 22nd when it comes out. And as long as my capture card can handle that, my cheap $20 Walmart capture card can handle it, we're going to stream that on the channel once that's out and once we're done with The Witcher. That is by far one of my favorite games, so I'm pretty excited that they remastered it, and from what I hear, they retooled all the controls to actually fit the Switch controls. So it's supposed to be like even better than the original version. So I'm pretty excited for that.
Well, cool, man. Awesome. And Witcher 2 is less janky than Witcher 1. They did improve a lot, but they improved even more for 3. So.
Oh, I'm gonna finish the trilogy. If I can finish the first one, I'm pretty.
Oh, if you can finish the first one, you can finish it. Yeah, no, absolutely. And that's what I'm trying to tell you. Like, if you can stick it out and make it through the first one, you will be able to make it through the trilogy. And as much as people are like, well, you don't have to play them to play the third one. That's true, but you miss out on a lot of that story, so you're not as connected to all the characters.
I'm also not gonna waste like the sale that I got to get all 3 of them in a pack for super cheap. Like, so I'm gonna play them all eventually. I had no idea this Metroid game was being remastered and re-released. So when I found out, I was like, well, this is gonna get in the way of the Witcher trilogy for a little while.
Yeah, but that's not necessarily bad.
Surprise.
There's
like
what?
The remaster was like a surprise announcement by Nintendo.
Yeah, I think they're working on a 4th, and this is kind of their, I guess, hype for the 4th, supposedly. So, yeah.
Like when Xbox announced Hi-Fi Rush, like, was available immediately, and they had never heard of, like, nobody had ever heard of this project at all, and it was like releasing that day.
Yeah.
That was like a surprise announcement. So this is Nintendo's version, and Sony apparently has something too.
That's what that's what they did. Like, it's already available digitally, and people are playing it like crazy. And I watched Nintendo Direct live over on Ricochet Ray's channel, one of our D&D players, and like we're watching it, and it's doing the trailer and everything, and talking about the remaster, and I'm like, oh, this is cool. I'm gonna get this when it comes out, and it's like, we're releasing this digitally directly after the show, and I'm like, what?
Yeah. Yeah.
But of course, I'm a physical copy goblin, so I'm making myself wait for the physical copy. Plus, this gives me an excuse to finish The Witcher. So,
Which would be good to do. It's as janky as a game it is, and as much as I make it a walking simulator, the story is still good in it.
oh yeah, I've had several times where I've paused and contemplated where I was fixing to make the right decision or not, because
Yes.
sometimes there's no good option.
Yes. Welcome to the world of The Witcher. Do you want the bad choice or the horrid choice?
Which one's gonna mess you up more?
Right. Right. And so many games don't do that anymore, right? You have like the obvious good choice, the obviously bad choice. Take what you want. You want to be Paragon or Renegade? We'll just blatantly show you.
And the weird thing, like in the Mass Effect trilogy, like I actually went through and I did all three, and there's not really a good one.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, like there are obvious differences. Like some are better than others, but like they screwed up. It's fine. Anyway, I'll stop.
Oh, I know. But yes. All right. Let's kick it off and get things. So, does anyone want to recap last time? You turn the guy off.
I can.
Go for it.
So, let's see. We started last session at the start or in the midst of a combat with a whole bunch of people coming out of a room. In the midst of that combat. So we spent the first little while shooting and being shot, which was very exciting. And we did leave one of these combatants alive after all of this, and decided to try and get some information out of him. That proved to be a little bit harder than we were expecting, but we did end up getting some things out of him. We found out that the people down here are really just trying to eke out any sort of life that they can by growing food and things, sometimes having to take a little bit of power from the institution, and that effectively, yeah, they blame the institution for just being dicks, right? And so it left us sort of scratching our heads and going, well, are we just being used to like do whatever these people want, and do we really want to be used, and lots of different questions. We made our way back out, and along the way we we found a little secret compartment, or made a little secret compartment for all of the illicit goods that we have obtained while on our trek down here into the I guess forbidden and sectioned off areas of this place, and made our way back to our rooms. We basically remember a whole heap of zaps and stuff, and wake up not really remembering everything. We remember some things, but we realized relatively quickly that some of the things we couldn't remember. We did get congratulated for a job done, and we are now in presumably different bodies again. None of the wounds that we received are on us, and we have different names above our heads, this time being O instead of R and 2 instead of 1. And we remember that we've stowed some stuff. We remember that we were in conflict, but not specifically with whom. And we find ourselves being asked to go for another briefing for another job again. If I've missed anything that anyone feels is very important, please speak up now.
No, that's like you hit the nail on the head. That was
excellent.
That was really good. I just want to say hi, Leo.
And for that, since it was so well done, I'm going to give you all a bonus of 10 IP for tonight.
Ooh, thank you.
Muchas gracias, señor.
Well, they don't have advantage or anything like that, so I figured that's a good option to reward everyone for a job well done on it. So.
Very happy to see Raven made it.
Yes.
Yes, awesome.
And he's probably going to be a little bit quieter, given that it looks like someone's sleeping.
Absolutely. Yeah.
When they're that age, if they're sleeping, let them sleep.
Absolutely.
So, you all, excuse me, that hadn't happened, and now it decides it wants to. You all go back to the room, but it's a different room. You remember going a different direction down this hall to get to but you're definitely being told to go over there for your briefing. And you see some construction bots go in the other direction towards where the room was that you went to get your briefing before.
Wait a minute. Do we remember getting our previous briefing?
Mm-hmm. You remember you got a job. You remember you had to go and deal with getting the power turned on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You don't remember fighting anyone down there.
Okay.
Remember there's some sort of problem? I don't know what that was, but there's something. And we got back.
Remember our stash.
We tossed some stuff aside because it was garbage or needing to be hidden, and then we turned in our gear like we were supposed to and went and talked to the boss like we're doing now.
Got it.
But there's that section that you feel there's something. Maybe it's not important. I don't know. And so you go there.
Explore this.
You go there and you get your. Oh, it's up to you. I'm just telling you, like right now, you have something you have to do, so you can't exactly explore it necessarily right now. You can try to later, but so you get there and you each are given different assignments for the day shift that are pertaining to your skills. So Doc gets to go to the med side and help out getting people fixed up who've had wounds. You have our friend Blackstone getting to go off and help with, equipment and gear, repairs and manufacturing section. You have, if you guys want to do something other than what I'm saying, feel free to give me some other option that you'd want to go with. This is just based on what your role is. You have Seamus going out and dealing with some issues, overseeing production and deliveries. And we have good friend Zed going out and helping with some network architecture stuff that needs to be cleaned up and moved around. Then the evenings come and you get released off and you guys get to meet back up for dinner. And this is your opportunity after your work shifts of doing your mundane tasks that you just have to do, right? You gotta do your assignment. That now you guys get to get back together. Talk about your thoughts, talk about your feelings, talk about where you want to go, what you want to do. And it gives you a bit of time in the evenings where you can actually pursue some of your own personnel agendas. So after, kind of a nice quick blur through of you guys during your days, feel free to mention how that went. And then the camera comes into you guys all at dinner, getting to sit down and eat together.
So I look over at Zed and I say, man, I had a rough day. Got everything done that I needed to get done for my tasks, but definitely more than I'm used to. How about you?
I just found it boring, man. It was just a routine droll that I haven't done since, well, I imagine that's what the interns of these big corps do when they're first employed as net runners. I never did that. I learn a different way because I had to. So yeah, I was just a bit bored, man.
Yeah, like I remember that. I remember some people, like, what they would do. Like they would take the most like basic mundane tasks and they would like just do them, and like, but that would allow their subconscious and like their their ganglia and their like whatever complexes in the back of the brain, it would let them that focus on something that they really wanted to like work on personally or something, and they would be able to like resolve things faster. So did you find that something that you were like really like grasping for, like that you were trying to think about like really hard and focus on, did you find that you were able to like make progress in that aspect?
Well, I love puzzles, man. I always have. And this seems to be a puzzle. This whole situation seems to be a puzzle that's waiting for me to solve it.
That's what you're here for, my bud. Let's work through this together. Doc, how'd your day go? If you can talk. I totally understand. Like, some people like to just sit and eat, and that is perfectly legit. So, hey, Seamus, like, how did your day go?
Just looking for the mic button.
That's okay.
And
Man.
I have an echo. Let's see.
All good, man. All good.
Testing. No, that doesn't
I can hear you. You able to
Sounds
hear
fine
us?
to me on this
Yeah.
end.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I'm getting an echo in my headset.
Oh, okay.
Ah. All right.
I have no idea why.
No worries.
I'll have to figure it out.
Yeah, all good. Seamus, how was your day, buddy?
Seamus leans back in the chair and like puts his feet up on the table or on the corner of the table or whatever, kind of feet crossed. I get stuff for people, and I think I did it pretty well today. Took care of a few things. Did what I'm good at. Made a lot more sense than what else has been going on around here.
You find your mind wandering and trying to like put things together about what happened?
It did come up a few times, but I'm more focused on the task, trying to clear me head
Okay.
instead of worrying about, just trying to start at square one, so to speak.
Sure. Makes total sense.
What about you? Did you get anything figured out on your end?
Yeah, I mean, I think that the main thing for me is figuring out exactly how they are able to selectively poach memories away from us. Like, we know that we had a job yesterday. We know that we had, or well, whatever day yesterday was, and we know that our names have changed. Like we know that there was an R there before, and there's an O now. We know that there was a 1 there before, and now there's a 2. Putting those pieces together. My main thing is understanding what's missing from my memory and what is like how they can do it. I know that like there are like a lot of this tech we're not very akin to seeing. It's not very familiar to us. But me being my background, I really want to figure it out. Is there anything like can I do like perception or like investigate or anything right now?
That's something you can do basically as your after dinner
Okay.
task,
No
right?
worries.
You can
I'll
start
wait.
fiddling with
All good.
trying to figure some of these things out.
I'll pick up my cable.
But yeah, I figured that way you guys can touch base, come up with plans.
Mm-hmm.
Are you guys going, all different directions? Are you going back to the room working on that and they're going off scouting for stuff? Or, it gives you guys all a chance to communicate. That's why I started at dinner, right? Where you guys all have a chance to communicate with each other, figure out a plan of what you want to try to accomplish together tonight. Whether it's, together as in you all go as a group or you scatter, but as a group, still what are the things you guys want to accomplish?
I mean, I think me personally, I kind of want to, I do kind of want to go off on my own just to like explore a bit, just to see if there's like maybe there's an area that's available to my color that I can just investigate and see like what I can find out about their, what's the word? Clone isn't the right word. Whatever kind of technology they're using to selectively take memories away and basically direct us how they want without really any, like, basically taking away our personal freedom, so to speak.
Okay. You do know
So-
for it, Raven?
So I was just wondering, our memories are being manipulated and being selectively removed. Is that what I heard?
That's my understanding. Because I remember, quote unquote, yesterday we went on our mission to figure out the power issue, and we were successful. I remember that. I remember getting the power back on. I remember talking to the big guy. I remember everything except for how we accomplished our mission, or if we ran into anything like any adversaries. Or I also remember that we stashed some things, but I don't remember why. I don't remember what we stashed. I don't remember if it was something that we weren't supposed to have, or something that the overseer wanted us to have but put in a special place. There's just a lot of unanswered questions, and I feel like there's so many unanswered questions that I should know the answers to because of my memories that I should have, if that makes sense.
And yes, because I'm looking at my character sheet and
to
I have
clarify.
an air rifle.
Yeah. To clarify, you don't, like, players will remember the combat you guys had, but your characters do not remember that combat.
Okay. Yeah. That's the vein I meant it in. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm. No, it's all good. And Raven, the air hypo, you actually don't have on you. You have it stashed.
Mm-hmm.
Do I know it's stashed?
You know you have some stuff stashed. Not necessarily that you have an air hypo, but that is in the stash. I can make a stash if that'd be easier for you guys to throw your stuff in, but for now we left it on the character sheet so you guys knew it was there. But if you notice, it doesn't have a bag on it, which means it's not in your inventory. It's owned, but not in inventory and not equipped.
Yeah.
So that's how we designated that you guys had stashed it. That is actually something that you might want to consider doing, Azrael, for Blackstone. is sneaking out there to the stash
Yeah, and just double check that
and
everything's
well,
there.
check it, but also if you recall, like player recall, not character.
Yeah.
So your character would want to go to check the stuff that's there, but player-wise, once you get there, you'd also be able to then see that some of the stuff had been damaged, and you could fix it, potentially doing some
Okay.
rolls on
Yeah.
repairs.
Yeah,
But then that
definitely,
does take
that's
away from you
definitely
being
one
able to
thing.
try to investigate other options. So it's one of those
Sure.
weigh the options.
Actually, a question I'm trying to remember. It's been busy weeks for me. Did you guys play once without me?
We did.
Yes.
Yeah, once.
Okay. Now, what is it okay to play that maybe more than was taken from Doc than everyone else?
If you want to, that's fine.
Because I don't know what happened after that.
You
I don't even know what
missed.
happened at the end of combat.
Yeah, you missed the
It was
combat,
great.
the rest of combat, and then the wrapping stuff up and talking and heading out, and then getting incinerated and waking up.
Getting incinerated. Okay.
And
I mean, that's the
incinerated, the
benefit
term
of-
loosely used. It's something happened and your body was gone and you woke up in a new one. Dimension.
That's the benefit. I mean, that's the benefit of what we're dealing with right now is most of our characters don't remember most of last session. Like, other than, hey, we put some stuff somewhere and we fixed the power and now we have new bodies. And we, like, our names are different above our heads. That's the extent, basically the extent of what we remember, what all of us remember from last session.
And we don't have injuries.
Well, if anyone is looking, not just the name keeps changing over Doc's head, and I don't know if anyone's really noticing. Not just the the extra part. His the name has changed a few times, and nobody seems to even notice or care. And he can't see it because he's not can't really see his own name. But yeah, he. So yeah, I guess just a quick point before we move on. He probably came out, didn't say much, and he almost looks a little, at least, well, to Seamus, a little quieter than the normal. He seems like he's going through the motions of what is required of them, but nothing more. So we'll go with that for now.
Cool. I'm finishing up my kibble, and I'm gonna get up and walk over to the door to go ahead and go back over to the stash. I'm gonna let everybody know. Hey guys, I'm gonna go check our the place that we left the other stuff and see if everything is still copacetic and just see if anything needs maintenance. I'll be back later.
Are you sure they're gonna just let you wander
We'll see.
around the place?
Worst case, they tell me to go back.
At least you have a HUD to tell you if you step in the wrong area, right?
I don't know if that's the worst case, but if that's what you think the worst case is, then you go right ahead.
Worst case, he gets a 3 instead of a 2.
Absolutely.
Just don't
And
know
maybe
how
they'll
far.
demote me back. Maybe they'll demote me back down to red, and then I really can go to the other place. We'll see
Maybe
what
they'll
happens, though.
You have
vote you back
seen.
down to dead.
You have seen that the higher color can go in lower color area. It's fine. Just not the other way around.
So this is kind of like what's the word? I mean, like, yeah, I mean, it's promotion. Like, I can,
Yeah.
like, orange. So,
Right.
so for me, so now that I'm orange, I feel like I can go into red and yellow, since orange is made of red and yellow. Does
Well,
that make
no,
sense?
no, that's not the ranking.
That's not the word. It's not how it works.
No.
Okay, that's fine. I can go into red and orange, just not other stuff. That's cool.
Yeah.
Off I go.
So I think for Zid, I think he has this rain cloud over his head in his mind. Like there's something important that he should remember, and he doesn't. If that's okay with you.
Mhm.
And I think that maybe to others, he's gonna start doing things that they might find a little bit uncomfortable. He'll probably find a quiet corner to do this, but I think some of the things that he might start to do, I think he's going to not eat, and I think he's going to try and look like he's eaten, because he has a feeling that that could contribute. He's been in a situation before where he's been given food that has had whatever other repercussions, and he's thinking, well, I don't know what could be contributing to this, but maybe it's the food. He hasn't told anyone of this suspicion, but I think he's not eating and he's not drinking. He's gonna feel extra famished and extra thirsty because of it, but he's just gonna bunker down, and he's done this a few times
Mhm.
in his life where he's had to live without anything, so it's not completely unusual for him. He's also gonna do things like biting his hand or something that's easy to access, and tasting to see if he can actually taste blood when he draws it, to see if it actually tastes like blood or if it tastes synthetic somehow. Because this isn't his body, right? It's his body, but it's not. So yeah, he'll draw blood. He'll see how it tastes on his tongue. He'll do little things like this, and he'll be, I guess, looking about. Once he's done this, he'll be looking about and just looking for nodes, right? He's looking for these digital nodes in both the red area and the orange area to see if there's anything that he could maybe, like, down a dead-end corridor or something where he could jack in perhaps without being seen, or what the possibilities might be for that. There's one last thing that I think that he would be looking for. I'm sorry, this is a little bit of information, and I hope it's not too much. And maybe we need priorities for this. But I think he's looking for anything duplicitous or unusual in how anyone outside of our group is acting. Whether they seem to just be going about things like complete robots, or perhaps as people who know better than to buck up against something, or to just, I don't know, sit back and watch if there's, like, how these people are acting. It's not the best thing. He's not that good at reading people, but he wants to see if he can see anything in that as well. So
Sure.
that's the full gambit of where I'm thinking.
I would say something Zid would recall is that when it comes to knowing if something has a drug or chemical taint, he does have someone in the party whose skill set that fits, that he could potentially ask to investigate that, and could easily tell him if the food has been tampered with in that way.
Okay. Then I think he would mention that to Doc then, and ask him about that then.
Doc,
He's also cognizant that we might be being watched or recorded.
yeah. Which I take it you'd kind of word it subtly as in, Doc, could you run a check on the food? Does it taste normal to you? Or maybe it's just my taste buds or something. It's some sort of double talk, right?
Double talk, yeah.
And, I mean, What's Doc's experience with chemicals or drugs?
Well, did you leave the group, or were you still there with everyone?
Oh, he's still there at dinner. Is when
Okay.
Zid is talking about this.
All right. He's been eating the food. He's probably still absentmindedly eating it, but he'll stop, look at Zed, and then it's been a while since I played. I'm trying to figure out how he would go about determining that without any equipment.
Well, I would let you, based on the fact that you are a specialist in pharmaceuticals, be able to run a pharmaceutical check on it to basically know if there's drugs or anything added to it, right? I wouldn't be able to tell you if it's a special flavor of kibble, but if there's a drug compound or something like that, I would give you a chance to know that based on the fact that it's kind of your focus of your specialty, right? That's kind of your background.
Right, which is okay, so it's a medical tech role.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Don't forget to reset your luck.
Correct. If
Oh.
you guys don't have full luck, you'd be at full luck at the start of the session. Well stated, Ezreal.
Is
Thank
there a
you.
way to? You just have to manually max it out.
Yeah, you can just hit
Okay.
6 on it. There you go.
All right. I think I'm gonna. Oh, I can't use luck. Not for this. Right? Yeah, I don't think I can. Let me just.
Yeah, it looks like it's saying you can't, but I
Yep.
thought you could.
Yeah,
Interesting.
no, I don't think medtech is an. I don't think you can. So it's just a straight up roll.
Yeah, it looks like it. Interesting. I would let you spend a few points in this endeavor outside the normal rule just because.
Oh, it's okay.
Well, there you go.
I'm gonna go with whatever I roll. Oh, yeah, I think I'm good
19.
with that number.
That's a very good number.
Yeah, that is not bad at all. You verify DVs. I'm 90% certain that's certainly passed. I'm just trying to get the DVs up so I have them going forward because I forgot to open that. I think they might become, prevalent here for some reason.
It seems that way. Yeah.
Well, not just for his, but anything you guys want to do, right? Tends to have a DV that it's up against. All right. Here we go. So, yeah. That would tell you there's no chemical or drug compound that you can sense in the food. You're fairly certain that it's safe. That it wouldn't have any pharmaceutical or street drug sort of additives.
Does Zed still have some kibble in front of him?
Yeah.
Doc reaches over, grabs a handful, puts it in front of him, and starts eating it. He doesn't
Zid
say
would probably
anything.
get that Doc thinks it's okay if he's willing to chow down on it.
Fair enough.
All right. And then you mentioned wanting to investigate people for that. So for that, it would be a is it empathy, human empathy. I would think because you're human perception, which is an empathy-based skill.
Yeah.
Because you're basically watching people to kind of get a feel for how they're acting.
Yeah. Zid knows that this is not his best thing, so he's going to take some extra time and like really try here, which I'm spending some luck on. course.
Ooh. Ow. An 8.
When you spend luck, you roll a 1.
Right. Spend 2 luck and roll a 1 and get a -3.
Yay.
So a total of
Yeah,
-4. So your empathy's 5, your luck is 2, and you... Oh, man.
Alright, so what do I get from that? Probably nothing, but if there's any erroneous information, that might be fun too.
Everyone seems to just be happy and normal here. Seems out of place at all.
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say I'm not participating, right? I'm
Correct.
Just listening.
Because
Okay.
this is after you left that he went and looked at other
Yeah, I
people.
figured.
You
That's
probably
cool.
heard him talk to Doc about that. But then kind of split when he splits and goes kind of scouting out the area. The other
Of
thing
course,
Zid
I
would
figured I
recall
just
is
wanted to
he...
ask.
Yeah. The other thing Zid recalls is he doesn't currently have his deck on him. They uploaded or enabled a cyber deck while he was working. So when he's looking for nodes, he's noticing he's not seeing any, but he knows he saw one there earlier when he was working. So he knows.
Your audio cut.
He knows.
Yeah,
So
lost his audio.
it's more of a that exists during my work hours, but
Right.
not something that I can assess or access after work.
You'll have
this
to
troubles Zid.
You'll have to find a way to basically prolong that or enable it, hack it sort of thing to get it to work after hours.
I get you.
But by default, you're now, like, you hadn't thought of it or really paid attention to it before a lot, right? Because it hadn't come up. But now that you're kind of looking, you're like, I know I saw a node here earlier today when I walked past this. I know it's right in here somewhere, but I'm not seeing it. That means it's off now. So now I need to figure out how to get it to stay on. So that's an objective for you to do tomorrow, basically. Right?
Maybe somebody can help you with that. Not
It's possible. That is possible.
Now, what equipment am I given access to while working?
It's a full medical suite. Like it actually is basically like if you were to go to like the med tech hospital, you're working in a med tech ward essentially, fixing up any of the damages or injuries that people come through.
Can I? How is it equipment? Is it just equipment's there
Yes.
and I
It's-
take it as needed, or they? I'm trying to see if I can pick up something.
To bring something with you would require you to conceal it because you are checked. It is checked at the stations and everything. So to take something with you, it's going to be
Oh,
a bit risky,
Silver-
and you're going to have to,
I
you're going to
forgot.
have
I'm
to
not
actually
good
do
at
a
that.
check and try to sneak it out. It's not just a, oh yeah, I have this item and I am walking out.
You know what? I'm gonna do that. I'm just trying to decide. I'm trying to figure out what kind of equipment there is aside from a scalpel. I'm trying to think of what other equipment might be useful, and that I might have access to that is small enough to conceal. Like obviously, I'm not going to bring a whole med pack or something.
You're not going to bring a whole cryo pump
Yeah, no.
or, yeah.
No, don't mind. I'm just using it to store my alcohol. Yeah, nothing.
Yeah.
So what is small enough that I could probably get away with?
Well, take a look at the gear and let me know what you're thinking. And we'll let Az check out the stash and do what he wants while you're looking. And we'll also let Dimension have a chance to let Seamus do some stuff. So, Seamus, what is it you want to do this evening as the others have gone about pursuing your guys' quest?
I think Seamus is just being kind of observant right now. He's kind of observing what like what the rest of the party's talking about, kind of their concerns, taking into everybody's emotions and whatever thoughts they share. Kind of, unless Zid like goes off where Seamus couldn't see him, he's kind of like surreptitiously watching Zid do what he's doing, you know, biting his hand and drawing blood and this and that, like not really reacting to it, just kind of taking it all in, making mental notes of all of this. I don't know if he would necessarily do anything that night as far as going out and exploring.
Okay.
I like the idea, kind of like what Paul's talking about, of seeing kind of what I encounter with the job I'm working on during the day, and seeing if anything that, like, I'm the fixer, I get things, so seeing if I could get anything to help, kind of maybe what Zid's trying to do, or what Blackstone's trying to do.
Okay, you would notice Zid. It did taste like normal blood, by the way. I forgot to mention that.
Okay.
You would notice Zid going out, kind of like looking like he's looking for something, and yet you pick up that he's kind of watching people. I'm giving you that because that's kind of your field of study, as it were, right? That's kind of what your role is supposed to do, is be able to pick up some of that. If you want to join him on that, you can. Or you can do something else. If you want to just chill for tonight, that's fine too, and we'll hop over to Blackstone and see what happens on that front.
I mean, Seamus is just gonna observe, you know, if
Okay.
somebody goes out to kind of just walk the halls and observe, maybe Seamus might accompany him, but Seamus is also probably not going to leave Doc, so unless Doc was going,
Okay.
Seamus is probably going to hang around Doc as best he can, especially with Doc being more quiet than normal. It's like Doc's quiet anyways, but
He's
it's
extra
kind of
quiet.
worrisome that it's super quiet.
Makes sense. Then we'll give Doc a
He
chance
hasn't
to...
asked for a target in like 24 hours, so that's
Something's
worrisome.
wrong. Yeah. So we'll let Doc look at his stuff and then tell us what he wants to do tonight. And we'll let Blackstone quickly say what he's doing with checking on the gear.
Yeah, let's have a look at that gear. Or at least let's see what happens on my way to the gear.
So you're able to make it there. You see people wandering about. Some people are going off to the cantina and actually spending some of the points they've gotten on, you know, some more luxurious food or some nicer drinks and stuff, and just hanging out. Basic entertainment here and there some. You're able to make it to the stash unless you decide to take a detour.
Let's go to the stash.
Okay. So you get there, you're able to open it up, and it's there.
Cool.
You remember being shown how to find it and where it was at and how to open it.
Right.
So you're able to do it without a problem because you were shown.
Sweet. Let's go ahead and like look it over, like give it a nice once over and see if anything is
There's
messed up.
bullet holes in some of it.
Okay.
And you have a few conventional arms that you have. And some of the holes match up to some of the... So it's almost like you shot each other, or you got these conventional arms from someone, because you haven't seen conventional arms being used by anyone.
Yeah.
Something's up. And some of the, like, Doc's armor, you
Mhm.
can tell it was for Doc, because it was kind of, you know,
Yeah.
rearranged to be a little bit better
That's
sized for him. Totally wrecked.
Bigger.
Like it's there, but it is full of holes. It's not really going to protect him with how many holes it has in it until it's fixed. You have a good bit of ammo. You have some energy cells, a few pistols, sets of basic armor. You also find your armor, you think is yours, is also ripped up as bad as Doc's. I think those were the only two that were ripped up that bad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Seamus's wasn't damaged. And Zid's was slightly damaged.
Sure. Okay. Sid's probably wasn't damaged either. Okay.
That's what I said. Yeah, Zid didn't have his damaged. Except for just a little bit. It had like one hole.
Let's see if I can repair.
Sure.
Okay.
Let's check the repair rules.
Get Doc's repaired.
This is a new one to me. I've not done this.
Yeah. So for reference, I'm I don't know if like what's up with video, but I'm getting like seriously choppy like video.
From everyone or your videos copy?
I
think
He's
it's
completely
your
frozen on my screen.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
that's kind of what I was
let me
wondering.
let me drop out and drop it. Like video is completely frozen for me.
Okay. Yeah, it seemed like everyone was moving on my end. That's why I was curious if it was your
Yeah.
end.
Let me go out and come back in. I'll be back in then.
Yep, cool. I need to
Okay,
try to find the repair rules.
I'll be right back.
Yep.
That's
What were you
fine.
saying, Doc? Raven?
Yeah, I think he's gonna. Look, how many times have we been working? I guess.
One day so far.
So just one time in there.
Yeah.
For now, I'm just gonna try to get take one of the scalpels and try to conceal that on the way out. Just want to check one more skill. I'm probably not good at it. As why would I be?
Do they put scalpel under weapon? Or is it under equipment?
It's technically in that medtech bag.
Okay.
It's trying to, like, I'd like a scanner of sorts, but probably taking a scanner is going to be more noticeable
It's
than a
a
small
bit bigger.
scalpel.
Yeah.
Um,
So you're kind of going, you're trying to start working on getting the tech bag.
yeah, the scalpel there's a reason. I'm trying to see social skills. I see bribery. Is there like what is the closest to deception? And as I said, it's probably not going to be good for me. Is that conversation or would it be persuasion?
They don't
or...
have deception. So you would have persuasion or interrogation. But it would definitely be a cool skill.
Oh,
Streetwise?
problem.
Streetwise could potentially
Well, maybe not in this
be an
situation.
argument.
I don't see streetwise in this situation.
Yeah.
Doc is not that cool.
That's the thing. It would definitely be a cool skill if you're talking to someone, because you're basically presenting yourself, right?
And what's
And
conversation?
keeping it together. Conversation is an empathy skill.
But what does conversation? That's extracting information. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Conversation is like interrogation, but you're not like putting them in a room and drilling them, right? You're just conversing with them. So you're basically subtly getting information from them. You're just holding a conversation, but you're leading the conversation a bit to try to acquire certain details.
Asking leading questions.
Exactly.
Not right now. I think he's focused on the scalpel, and I'm going to try to walk out with that.
Okay. So that would be...
Conceal reveal.
Yeah, I think it'll be a conceal reveal.
Okay, I am going to be putting some luck into that because I need that.
Luckily, it's a lower DV since, there's that.
Okay. All right. Oof. 4 luck into this because I'm not good at this.
So I'm finding how to fix people, wounds, but I'm not finding repairing gear, but I know I saw it somewhere.
Nice.
Wow, 17.
You rolled well.
I did.
All right. You're able to do it.
So slide it up my sleeve and I walk out
Yep.
casually. Now, could I have had this before meeting up with the group, or I went back to work?
Yeah. You could have it during the group meeting, during that
Okay.
dinner, if you did it that day.
Now, yeah, he's playing innocent. Like, he's not talking. It's like, I don't have a scalpel on me now. Actually, he's gonna find somewhere. If I rolling a stealth, if that works, to find somewhere a little more private, I guess, without cameras, as far as I can tell.
Well, do you recall what the group told you? Therefore, I know Raven wasn't, but Doc was.
Mhm.
That they had a spot where you had stowed something.
Okay, I'm gonna head over in that direction. Basically, I'm looking a room, alcove, somewhere a little more private to try something.
Okay. So you want to go to that stash, or you want to go somewhere else?
Sure. If that's the only place that I know of, then maybe I'll try there. Maybe I'll meet up with Blackstone.
Okay. Yeah, I would say that if you wanted to go there, you could just go with Blackstone.
Whenever I have a chance, I'm ready to do what I have to do.
Yeah. I know you're going to do. I was trying to get the
Yep.
EV for the repair.
Sure, no worries.
That's what I was working on right
Actually, I like you left at the beginning of that conversation about the food,
Yeah.
and then a few moments later, you start looking at the stuff and you're about to repair, and
Mhm.
in walks Doc.
I see you. I see you out of the corner of my eye. I'm looking at the gear,
Perfect.
and I look at I'm looking it over, and I look at Doc. I've looked at your gear and your armor, and I'm like, I forgot how bad. Like, I forgot what happened. So I'm looking at it. I'm like, dude, you and me took a beating in whatever happened. So I really want to explore that a bit more.
Perfect.
But I definitely want to get our stuff repaired and stowed back.
Nice.
And,
So-
I found these energy cells. Like, they seem like they're the ammo that we had, but I've never seen them before.
Oh, you have seen them today on security.
Yes.
So you have seen them, just you haven't used them today, but you have seen them
But-
about
But
and being
I'm
issued
holding,
to them. But
I'm
you're
holding one in my hand. Does it feel familiar to me?
Mm-hmm.
So I know. So if it feels familiar, so at some point I have used this. Obviously, I don't know when.
Right.
So I say to Doc, I'm like, dude, this is really familiar to me. Like, I've used this before. I just don't remember when, and that makes me want to investigate this mental memory thing even more. Like, that's going to be my sole focus after I finish repairing. My sole focus is going to be figuring out what they're fucking doing with their heads.
Doc looks over at you, doesn't acknowledge what you said, but you see him act a little, well, you don't know if this is weird, you don't know him very well. He produces a scalpel, pulls up his clothing somewhere on his, I'm going to say his left side. He pulls up to expose skin, and he starts poking it with the scalpel. Like he's trying to find something, you don't know. Or he's just poking himself. Maybe he's just odd that way.
Hey, Doc. What you doing there, buddy? Yeah, you got like a death wish? Trying to like commit some suicide? What you doing? This isn't really normal.
He's not. It doesn't look like he's stabbing himself, like causing
Mhm.
damage. He's just poking it with a scalpel or trying to, possibly trying to find something.
No, Doc. You're a smart guy. Like you know surgery. You know, like pharma. You know all these things. You're poking with a really, 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 really sharp tool. This is not like we need to take a step back, or you need to explain to me like what you're looking for. Maybe I can help.
Dominic, do you know what I'm doing?
I have an idea, but go for it. You're
Can I
trying to-
roll to see if it's? I don't know if it's a roll, if it's even possible. He's trying to figure. He remembers, like, he doesn't know specifically how all this stuff is working. He knows Zed managed to find a node
Mhm.
without any actual cyber gear on him, like
Mhm.
any equipment. And he's trying to figure out if this is more hallucinatory, or if it's somehow, if it is not his body.
Oh, it hurts when you do
Then
it.
why
Like you feel it.
Oh no, yes.
Okay. And you do know it's organic because you have seen people come into your ward today and like it was lacerated down to the bone. So you know it's actually bone. It's real human bone. It's real human flesh. You worked on someone today, so you know it's real. But how? Does not
Because-
make sense.
If I am me, why are my memories here? Are they putting my memories in a different body,
Exactly.
or is something obscuring my vision?
Exactly.
So that's why I'm trying to find something, and this is probably the only way I can figure it out.
It hurts. When you poke, it's like you're literally stabbing your arm with the blade.
Oh, it's his side of his I guess his belly.
Yeah.
Towards the left side.
So no,
left arm
it
itself.
as you're doing that, it feels like you're just hitting tissue.
I understand that, but I'm basically trying to find something. Trying to find his what was it? His subdermal pocket,
It's not there.
and that is concerning because,
Yes.
as far as he knows, there is no way to transfer consciousness of someone as this well. Well, as far as he can tell,
As far as
as
he's
well.
heard and aware of.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah, he's not a full expert in that, but he's not heard anything about
This
this.
is
Like this.
Absolutely sketchy because he knows he should be able to just touch there and it be there, and it's not there. It's gone.
That's why he's trying to see if it's something's manipulating his vision to say it's not there.
No,
when
like
it is.
it's not there. You feel like it was before you had it installed.
And so Blackstone is asking, "Well, what are you doing?" And he goes, "It's not there. It's missing. This is all real here, real flesh."
It's just not your flesh.
It's
It's not what you would expect your flesh to be.
At that,
I
Blackstone's
don't know.
probably looking at his missing arm.
I am.
That's
I'm
not
like
missing.
I'm like I see meat. I see metal.
I can't. Not hallucinating. I don't think we're in a virtual reality of sorts, or
I'm
or
looking for my skin watch.
Not there.
No, I don't see it anywhere.
Nope.
Like everything that I have had done,
It's all meat.
my eyes, it's all gone. So all the stuff that you have had done is gone. All the stuff that Zid has had done is gone. We are effectively not us. We are effectively meat copies. Second copies now, second copies. Full meat, no tech. So I'm even more convinced that our real selves are in like a cryo chamber somewhere. Like, I don't know if we're jacked in. I don't know how they're manipulating things, but they've effectively created and curated our brains and put them in quote unquote clone bodies, and they have picked and chosen specific memories of ours that are no longer there because they were not needed. They only left, it seems like they only left what we absolutely must know. So, I'm scared.
It also looks like we don't have any of our cyber gear, but we have a HUD that he reaches. Yeah.
Crap.
As you see
is
the
why
name floating above each other's heads.
See, and that is the reason why I believe that it's almost like we're all on the same quote-unquote neural network. Like, not a hive mind, so to speak, but we're all a part of the same like network from like a virtual standpoint. Not like being jacked into the net or anything, but there's like a vision thing, like maybe they like the way that they have our eyes working, there's something different about our eyes.
Correct.
From what I've seen, the last day, I guess. Okay, actually, what do I know about the current public level of cloning technology I get for body parts or stuff like that? Now, is it?
No.
It's not anywhere near this?
No. The public known cloning, they actually stopped pursuing cloning as much because it wasn't working. They did successfully get clones, but it's so much cheaper and more reliable to go with cyberware than go with clones. So cloning may be done for like organ replacement, but even then, most of the time, it's often cheaper to just get a cyberware replacement.
Right, and it probably takes a while to clone, and if they're just disposing of our body and then making a new one, why? Why not just repair it or
That's all
replace
sorts of
the
fishy.
damage? Yeah,
All sorts of fishy.
that's why I keep thinking that it's still my body and something's going on.
None of you have heard about cloning technology or memory transfers existing or working. That's just not done.
So, our friend Zid, he has a very valid reason for his feelings about our current particular set of employers, because we have never. I'm a pretty techie guy. I think I know what I'm doing. You're pretty good on the med tech. I mean, you know what you're doing. Zid's pretty good on his net running. He knows what he's doing, and Seamus knows what he's doing too. So, I mean, you know that better than anybody. And like, we're all pretty much at the tops of our games. So, we have never heard of any of this, and this is concerning. And I'm now completely understanding where Zid's coming from.
Now, I know Cyberpunk 77 technology, brain dances and all that. How advanced is that tech now?
They do have brain dance and stuff, right? But you use virtuality goggles or something like that to do it, and it's a memory off a chip. It's recorded, downloaded, and transmitted via a chip. You have a socket that you chip in, and it records it. Which means
Something
you
like
have
this
to
is-
have the cyberware to do it. But it doesn't transfer the memory. You can watch the memory, but you can't download, ingest, merge with the memory.
Something like this is most likely not a brain dance or similar technology, at least not known.
Not known, and it doesn't feel like you're wearing virtuality goggles or anything. Right? You'd usually be able to tell that. There's still a little bit of digitizing to it when it's done.
Right.
But this doesn't have any of those indicators that you're used to.
Yeah, this looks and feels real as opposed to a brain dance, which would still look artificial to an extent.
To an
Or, like,
extent.
not real. Yeah.
It looks very real because it is typically recorded from someone's vision, right? You take their visual, you have your visual implants that directly download and are recorded onto a BD drive, which is just a, chip essentially, right? And then that chip is taken and can be shared with others, and they can experience what it is you did. So basically, you're making a movie first person. So it's very similar to like you've seen people in our life, right? Using those GoPros, right? So it's very much like that is very much what a brain dance is like.
It's a 3D GoPro, but there's going to be some graphic glitches or noise of some. I'm guessing something that, or would it be very? But you won't be able, or you get the full stimulation, touch and sight and all that.
You tend to get some, but it's not. It feels different than being pure real, right?
Okay.
Because the sensation is slightly different.
So he's pretty sure it's not that, but I'm trying to think. He would possibly still try to, I guess, force his way out of a simulation if it is one. If he's going to try that right now, because even though he knows everything seems to be real, but he's not. There's no drugs in the food. If he's being drugged, it has to be like everyone is different, so they're not going to be putting a high dose for everybody. Yeah, but
Is
everyone
this
has
torture
a
drug if
different
you want to
dose.
try something like that? I think that would be the most suited
Yeah,
to
I
what
think-
you're saying, because you're basically trying to do a disbelieve.
Yeah, I think that's what he's going to try.
It'd have to be a will. It'd have to be a will one, right?
Correct.
Well, that's what it is. Yeah.
Resist torture drug is will based, and it's the
There's something I can
close.
help him with.
Probably not, because it's more internalizing.
Okay.
So it's within your own mind, basically. I do not believe. I guess if you want to pinch him, but that might be counterproductive.
20.
Damn, son.
20.
Well, I used one luck, but hey, still.
Still,
Well, then,
that's a good score, man.
you're rolling
Nothing
really well tonight,
happens.
buddy. You're rolling really, really
So-
well tonight.
You like focus. You almost feel like you are somewhere else for a moment. You snap back like you're here, and it's just real.
He has a look of maybe constipation on his face. And he looks around. I don't know if I was just imagining, but might have been somewhere else for a moment. I don't know.
Your eyes glazed over for sure, like you weren't here.
You know, I need a good rest. Maybe I'll try this again later.
Cool.
AKA when I have more luck.
So once I finish this repair, I'm gonna go walk around a bit, see if I can maybe discover a few things. Want to be my bodyguard for a little bit?
Well, you need some help repairing?
Not repairing, but Just looking around, seeing what's what, trying to find things. Maybe I can find our bodies.
Well, I still think this is some. I don't know if our bodies are somewhere they're not here. I don't know.
Okay. I'd like to get a better lay of the land for sure. What do I need to roll for the repair?
Basic tech,
Basic tech?
from what I can
Okay.
tell. I don't
That's
see
fine.
any armor
Or-
tech, so basic tech is what I would say.
Yeah, I don't see anything else. Maybe yeah, there's not an armor one.
Weapon
There's a
tech
weapon.
would be for weapons, so
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
see any armor tech, so I'd say basic tech.
So I'm gonna go ahead and roll for.
Now, am I able to help him even though I'm not trained in the basic tech?
I would more think this one would require training because it's doing beyond just tampering with it. It's doing a full-blown repair.
Right.
Not quite, roll ability required, but getting close.
I'll go ahead and I'm not even gonna bother with luck. I'm just gonna straight up roll.
Okay.
Ow. Oh, yeah, boy.
Ooh, wow.
Ream.
28. Absolutely preem, man. So, you usually can only repair one item per hour. But with that crazy roll, I'm going to rule that you got to repair both of those that were severely damaged.
Sweet.
Wow.
It's like what's the movie? I'm gonna be really cheesy. It's kind of like in the Matrix, whenever like Neo's fighting Smith, and like Smith's like doing all of his things. Neo's like just like, except he's doing that like with the repair stuff.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
my mere presence is making you
There you go.
do all this.
There is one other item here that could use a slight repair. If
Sure.
Doc
Slight
wants to
repair.
do that one, I could see him doing that one while you're doing it. It literally
Well,
only
what-
needs 1 point of repair. So it's very basic, minor damage.
Okay. A basic tech roll?
Yeah. And the other ones were totally damaged, is why it's like, I really don't see him being able to do that.
Sure.
But if it's only like slightly damaged, I can see that working.
13.
That works. The DV is actually a 9 for something this cheap. The more expensive it is, the harder it is to fix.
Technically,
And the
a
longer it
1 would have
takes.
gotten me that.
Now,
Technically a 1, but
Except that a
I
1 would give
remember-
you a minus.
yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, so as long
Yeah.
as I rolled a 2.
so there, I did see a pretty special weapon in there. I don't think that it was damaged though.
No,
Is that right?
no.
Okay. That's good.
You have some poor grade weapons, which, I mean, given this is your role, right? I
Yeah.
give people a little more info when it's their role, it's their thing.
Yeah.
So, yeah, no. A lot of the weapons you see in there are kind of cheap,
Crap.
garbage. They're cheap models, right? So you have like mass-produced cheapo brands, right? And then you have like the preem models that people just, you know they're finely crafted, right? All of them except for one in there are the cheap mass-produced, like stamped, issued garbage. One in there is exquisite quality. It is excellent.
I think it's it looks like a revolver or hand cannon.
Hmm.
What would involve me like just breaking the cheap shit down into parts?
You need to do that later, probably. That's going to be
Later?
more in
That's fine.
depth, doing a strip and all that.
Sure. Yeah, that'll take more time than I want to right now. but-
Right. Because you do need to
I
get
wasn't
some
sure if I
sleep
could
because
do
you
it
need to
real
show
quick
up to
or not.
work on time so you don't get in trouble,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Definitely.
And that's going to be literally taking them apart into their components. And keep in mind, you may or may not be able to get the full value out of it, and you may or may not be able to build something new out of it until you really start getting into your maker ability and deconstructing, reconstructing. But that being said, that is your jam later on, definitely, is the ability to actually create items.
Make and create an event.
Yes. Yes, those are fun.
When am I due back at work?
In the morning.
Do I have time to come back here?
In the morning?
Yeah.
Probably not. Unless you're going to potentially lose some sleep.
Okay, I'm gonna put the knife, the scalpel away in storage.
Okay.
You want me to add it to my character sheet for now? Like I was gonna put a combat knife for quality, so it's easier to break.
I could see that working.
Yeah, it's a light melee weapon, but then on a 1, it's a crit fail. The weapon fails.
Yeah. That's kind of part of the point, is that it's not perfect.
Yeah, I can see easily stabbing with one of these, and it breaks easily. It's a scalpel.
Yeah.
Okay, so I put that on, it's not equipped. All right.
Mm-hmm. And that's just how we're doing it for now, is that if it's owned and not in inventory, we're saying that it's in your stash.
Right.
Later on, if you guys actually get place to store things, I can actually give you a bag that you guys can interact with and actually drop stuff off. And then I'd probably add another link to the terminal there to actually pull up that little map and be able to, move your stuff around. So this chapter, probably not, because you just have your barracks and you can't really hide stuff there, right? But if you guys want me to make one where you guys have your stash, I can make a nice little basic area where you guys can throw stuff in a bag in your stash if you want to pull it out of your character sheet and put it there. Just let me know.
Alright, so I'm gonna finish my repair. I'm gonna walk around.
Okay.
Do I have time to walk around?
Yeah, there's a little bit before full night shift, and you have to get some sleep to be able to get up in the morning without being tired.
Yeah. I'm gonna explore a few corridors.
Okay.
Do I need a perception?
No, I mean, depending if you're just looking around to kind of get a feel for the lay of the land.
Yeah.
Basically, it comes down to later on if you need to try to locate or go somewhere. I'll give you a little bit of a lower DV on that.
Mm-hmm.
If there's something particular you're looking for, then we would roll a check to basically investigate.
So the main thing I'm looking for, I mean, obviously the main thing I'm looking for is like things
something you probably can't find.
Probably something
your body.
Find, yes. But I want to find at least like some semblance of like a quote unquote breadcrumb, something that can give me something to come back to later. I at least want to make some progress. So I would say, obviously within the bounds of the O and the red, the orange and the red areas. When I look at my HUD, do I see anything that?
You know what?
Anything conspicuous?
Give me a lip reading roll.
Got it.
That I could see being something you could potentially get some info with as you're wandering around, right? Because you don't want to get so close that you're like, I'm listening into your conversation.
Yeah, I'm gonna do. Ooh, not 20 luck. I'm gonna grab
20 luck. Oh boy.
So I'm gonna roll.
If
I'm gonna add
only.
2 luck to this.
Sure.
17.
Not bad, not bad. Let me see. That I believe is high enough to get you some info. I'm basically going with their different tiers.
Yeah.
It's not just a straight pass-fail in this sense. I'm using the DV chart as basically what level of info do you get, right? So if you get just the base 9 DV, then you just basically pick up some info, people talking about, you know, the jobs they did.
Yeah.
The higher you
17
get,
gets me
the more you
12,
get.
15 rather.
Yeah. Well, you got a 17, right, on your roll?
Oh yeah, I got a 17. I thought I
Yeah,
got a
17. Which actually bumps you up to what they consider basically the professional tier, which is going to get you a bit more.
Good.
So you're passing the med ward, and you see a couple over there. Not a couple, but a few people conversing over there. And you see them talking. And you focus for a bit. One is an indigo, one is a violet. So you know that they're far above your ranking. You casually glance over there and focus a bit, like you're just, looking around. But you're able to read their lips a little bit. And you pick up some details that are disturbing. The cryo chambers, the stasis chambers, not cryo chambers, the stasis chambers seem to be running at acceptable parameters. But they weren't developed for long-term use. What are we going to do if there's any failures? We'll deal with it if we find that they're falling outside parameters. Our task is to remain vigilant and ensure they remain within parameters to the best of our abilities. Do you want to go and tell the master that you're falling outside parameters? No. I'm concerned they're not designed for that. Well, deal with it later. And they turn, so you kind of get cut off there. And they walk off.
I feel validated. I'm gonna stand here a moment longer, just process my thoughts, the feeling of being validated, and I'm going to.
In stasis chambers or something, you can roll, I'd say a history check, but they don't have that exact. It's a good memory based. I could see basic tech being used. Maybe more electronic security tech, because it's a little bit higher. Science I could see working.
Or deduction, or education rather.
Education, yeah.
Not just straight education, I wouldn't think.
I could see science though, yeah.
Science, maybe deduction, but I'd more think science.
Yeah, I'll do the science. It's fine. And this is extremely important to me, so I'm gonna pump three luck into it.
Dude, you lucky dude. Come on. What are you doing? You get a 23. You roll a 9 and get a 23. That's awesome.
What I do?
And that's why we use luck.
I've got a 4. I've got an 11 base, so.
Right. But still, that's impressive. So 23, you're almost to, you're above heroic. Heroic is at 21. Incredible is at 24. Legendary is at 29.
Okay.
So yeah, no, that's almost to incredible tier. Like
Good.
Olympic gold medalist is a 24.
Cool.
Okay, world record is 29. Just absolutely awe-inspiring, record-setting.
Sweet.
But a 21 is above just you're a professional doctor. You've gone above and beyond. So you're thinking back. We don't have anything that are stasis chambers. The only thing was a experimental document out of one of the colleges that was taken over by a corporation. What was that corporation? Can't remember the corporation because that's not your expertise, right?
Yeah.
That's not your area, but you remember they were taken over. A school was doing one of the big universities, kind of like MIT, but I can't remember the name of them in this world. Maybe it is just MIT, but they were working on basically a long-term, something similar to a stasis chamber, or to a cryo chamber, but it was a stasis chamber. It's more long-term. Cryo chambers are temporary solutions that you put someone who's injured in, get them out and fix them. The stasis chamber was supposed to be longer-term hibernation. So if they have a thing that we don't know how to fix now, we can stick them in it and wake them up 10, 20, 30, 40 years down the road when something's found that can fix it.
Kind of like, did you ever see Demolition Man?
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of like that.
More like that, yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was experimental. They were trying to get it to work, and that's the last you heard of it, and then they were taken over by a corporation and silent. So that really bugs you, because that means not only did they take it, they somehow got it working to some extent, a technology that is unknown, but it's probably still somewhat experimental, and they're using it here like it's no big deal.
I mean, somebody's a little too big for their britches.
So you're able to reconvene with the group and share that with them if you so choose.
Yes. This is extremely important for everyone to know, in my opinion. But I will be talking in double, even triple speak to mask as much of this as I possibly can, if in fact we are being monitored, which I'm almost 1,000% sure, because we are not ourselves. We are other meat puppets. So
I gave a task to my intern Tina, and she was she was iterating on a design that was just I'd come up with in my head, and my intern Tina, she was progressing it a little bit further, but she didn't really get very far, and but she decided it was a great idea to sell it to her friend, and her friend took it on and seems to have come up with something that was way beyond its original intention, right?
That's an excellent way to put it. Thank you.
That was so well done.
It was very well done. I'm not surprised. I hope that I have validated your feelings, Ed. I hope that.
Oh, you can see anger, like in
absolutely.
In
No, I can see sweat beading.
He's gonna spend his last hour of this day working out like he is not gonna live tomorrow. He is going to push himself way further than he ever has. He is going to overexert himself with working out. This is an experiment for him, but it's also getting his anger out, because he's pretty worked up and riled up right now, so he's gonna work out like a demon.
Let's have you roll a brawling check as basically kind of like no, that's not body.
Athletics check?
Yeah, athletics. But athletics is still dex. I was trying to get something that was body, more muscle based than.
Sure. Yeah.
So let's just do a body check.
Alright.
Yeah,
Straight body.
Any skills.
Yeah.
And you know what?
I was remembering that.
It's the end of the day. He is going to overexert himself on purpose. So.
Damn.
Wow.
Man, we're all rolling well.
Right? That was a 9. And so that gives him a total of a 16. So he's actually working out close to like a professional bodybuilder's level, which you've never seen this before.
Never done.
So
never done. Yeah.
He's straight up like pumping iron and working out like he's trying to build up to be a professional and possibly start working towards going for the Olympics. Like he's straight up.
Actually, I think this will be funny because for several reasons, Doc, so there's a gym you said, so that's where he is.
Yeah.
Doc comes in. Just as you're working out and exerting yourself, and I'll do a body check as well, if that's okay with you.
Sure.
Basically, he's not saying he wants a target, but he is thinking it, and he's going to start smashing things. And let's see if he does worse or better.
He's gonna do the. Oh my god!
No!
Oh my god! That's awesome.
For those of you watching, I haven't gotten the dice rolls to be able to show up for you guys yet. It's a little anecdote, what you just heard everyone laugh about. So Doc goes in and rolls, as he said. And for some reason, his muscles are strained today and just not responding well. He got a 1 and then got a 4, giving him a resulting total body check of a 4. Yeah. Yeah, that hurts. That hurts.
I want to share the screen into like the webcam window at the bottom.
Yeah, I see that. I need to figure out how to get that added. I don't.
Put it as a webcam for that missing webcam.
I could do that, maybe.
Just
I have to find the right one, though.
Yeah, I imagined Doc coming into the gym and seeing Zid like working his ass off, and like Zid notices Doc, and like they look each other in the eye, and like Doc just like holds his hand out like Morpheus, and he does his like it's come at me. And Zid just like completely wrecks him.
I don't think we fight.
Zid is just like fueled by rage right now.
I could see this moment where he might get underneath a dumbbell and lift the weight that Zid was just pressing, and like when it comes down to your neck and it's just right at that moment and you can't seem to get it higher and you feel like you're choking but you're not, and it's just like really awkward.
Yeah.
Zid might come over and just help Doc lift it off and go,
Let me help you out, Doc.
it's been a rough day for you, Doc.
Well, I can imagine that. I can imagine the wounds in his side probably aren't helping at all.
All right. Just oozing out pus.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Time you could make it. You can make it a little smaller or bigger, like in OBS.
Yeah.
So you just have just the part where the dice are, so it's a little.
I need to.
I
I need to actually reconfigure it, and I have a way to do it. I just
Alright.
have to move everything over to another area and get some stuff done. I haven't had the time to do that part yet, but I know how to do it. I just haven't been able to do it.
Yeah.
Oh.
Doc is just, there's so much going on in his head. He's not even paying attention. He's trying like punching stuff, hitting stuff, and he's like almost like he hurt himself, but he's not like even acknowledging the pain. Like his form is way off, and it's just straining his body and stuff. And he doesn't seem to care, or maybe he is doing a toll on his body. Maybe he's punching a wall or something like that.
All right, so you guys eventually find your way to your beds and are able to do another day's work. Now at that, let's go ahead and let everyone take a quick break, and then we'll reconvene here in about 5-10 minutes. So thank you viewers so much for being here. Hang tight, we'll continue this awesome adventure. They've made some great headway. We'll see where they go from here.
Yeah, thanks everybody. I'm really
Indeed.
happy.
Back in just a little bit. just said he'd be back in just a minute. He had to take care of some stuff, you know.
All right.
Something about a new little one.
Absolutely.
I'm surprised he made it, and I'm pleased he did.
I'm
But-
like kudos to him.
Yeah, exactly. Then again, he probably is using it for mental health as well, like we all do, right?
Yeah.
I mean, isn't this game any game like this, for me anyways, it's very much a mental health thing.
Oh, it's definitely therapy.
Right?
I can't tell you like so. I started using this app called Balance, and it's like I've never meditated before, and I started using that to like try meditation out, and it's amazing.
Nice.
It's free for a year.
But I mean, that's really where this game comes into my life, right? It's like, it's a lot more fun and rewarding, and I actually find it a lot more helpful than therapy. It's so absolutely worthwhile. But, so, back in the world, within the complex, we find our lovely cast of characters, and apparently a dog howling from somewhere in the distance, because he won't be quiet. This realization has caused a bit of a schism within the minds. And yet, finally having some light shed on this ordeal that has been unknown and obscured. The next day dawns. The wake-up sounds. You get to have your morning kibble. Anything you guys want to say to each other before you head out for your daily tasks?
I get up, I sit up in bed. Realization of what was discovered yesterday, and I look around at my comrades, and I just give a non-verbal good morning, so to speak, and yeah, I mean, I just pick up my kibble and head to the table.
Are we still orange twos?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Seamus seems to be in a pretty decent mood. He's giving you guys smiles and just kind of, if you didn't know better, you'd probably think he's happy to be here. You guys probably in just a few days of knowing him probably know better than that, but he's putting on that face. But he's taken in all of the information that everyone brought back yesterday, and he was very quiet yesterday. He processed a lot of it, and his thing was that he was waiting for his skills to be needed, his fixer skills to be needed. So at some point during, loosely use this term, breakfast, he kind of like offhandedly mentions to you guys, is there anything that all of you are hoping to get out of this that will be helpful?
My
I know,
stuff.
using that double talk.
My stuff. I hold my hand up.
I'm not sure that they're gonna get our stuff, our actual stuff back anytime soon. But perks come with the upgrades and the promotions. I was thinking maybe what kind of perks you're looking forward to, what kind of tools we could get from here that might help us. Climb the ranks a bit faster.
I will say that I'm so now that we're one rung up from where we were. I want to see where yellow and green take me. Maybe that opens access to other areas that could further peel layers of the onion back.
What if we had somebody that could get us there a bit faster? And he's kind of looking over at Zid when he says this.
Sid's real uncomfortable. He's like on his seat and is moving like just he can't sit still. He's just like moving, and he's like, "Man, what are you saying? Like, have you accepted your lot?" I might
Seems to
work
me-
because I have to here, but I am not letting myself fall down this rabbit hole.
Nobody's suggesting we fall down the rabbit hole. I'm suggesting we climb out of it. The best way to climb out of it, I think, is through the ranks. And he's got this look in his eye that doesn't mean we sit here and work for years and rise through the ranks.
Push it, right?
Yeah, but he's thinking that
Shortcut.
since Blackstone's wanting to see where these other paths lead him, if we had a way to potentially suddenly acquire those paths, that's what he's aiming for.
I'm thinking of the meme. Yeah.
All right, so Zid says, "Did you ever play Snakes and Ladders?"
Exactly.
Guys, I could possibly keep my eye open for the right roll of the dice to climb the next ladder. Maybe it's hidden beneath one of those dodgy snakes that goes the wrong direction.
That sounds like you need the right person to point you in the right direction or get you the right equipment, the right opportunity, one might say. What? That's why I'm asking you what you're all looking for through this. You know, maybe Father Christmas can help us.
In answer to the question of what I'm looking for, double speak, I guess, for...
Yeah, I assume you all are trying to double speak.
Yeah, I'm not going to be able to come up with too much of it on the
Right.
spot. But
That's what I'm saying. I'm assuming you guys are doing your best to double speak and stuff. So feel free to communicate clearly to each other so you know clearly what each other are saying. It's fine.
Yeah, I think Zid wants to communicate that what he found out yesterday as well, which was pretty much that when we are finished with our shifts, that the things that he can see while on shift go away. And he wants elongation, right? He wants either elongation or opportunity to access those things that he can see either while on shift in a way that is not going to be seen, or to have it continue so that we can do it after said shift. That's what he's looking for, elongation.
You know, I used to have a Just have a pal that had a wee problem with elongation. I was able to get him what he needed to fix it. You tell me what you need, we'll make it work.
Perfect. It had to be there.
I mean, we are doing double talk, so...
Very good. I would look to Blackstone and say, we've only been here a couple of days. We've learnt a lot about each other. What about you? What are you looking for?
I'm looking for technology. I'm looking to learn. I'm looking to find out any information on where my parents are, if they're still alive. That's my main purpose, is to locate them. So any technology or information that gets me closer to that goal is my ultimate priority.
Zid pounds his chest.
I think that
With it,
resonates
brother.
with Zid a little bit.
A little bit.
Let's remain resolute, brother.
We'll find our way out of this maze yet.
Absolutely. And hey, if we can find out information and learn about technology we've never heard of at the same time, so be it. I believe that. Now, I remember you said earlier. You said that after your shift's over, your capabilities are rolled back considerably. I believe you and I might. I believe I might be able to help you with that. I've got.
I might need to take a piss about 3 o'clock. How about that?
Sounds good. Touch my nose.
Yeah. Knowing that it is also more organic than you're used to tampering with, you might need assistance from someone who knows the organic side of things a little bit better too.
I'll wink at Doc.
All right. You guys are able to go about your day, reporting for duty. Is there anything you guys are trying to do during your day shift other than the meetup that was mentioned?
I would like to get more work done in shorter amount of time to offset what might be lost with whatever we do at the, towards the close of the shift to get this done.
Okay. Let's have you roll a roll check then.
Okay.
Because that's typically what you're put in, tasks for here, right? Is using your role-based skill. Because that's what you're known to do. For you, let's have you roll an interface check and see how that works out.
Oof. Well, there it is.
A 6. Seeing as interface ability is lower than others because it doesn't have the ability score modifier. Straight skill. That's a basic. You're pulling things off okay. You're not really able to accomplish much more than is kind of being requested. But you are able to maintain, good productivity, just not exceptional productivity.
I get you.
I think I would do. I'd like to, if possible, I'd like to do something similar.
Sure.
And I'm actually going to roll. I'm going to roll. Let's see. Field expertise is probably not what I'm looking for. I think I'm looking more for fabrication because I think that they either want me to try to make something or they want me to try to upgrade something. So
Yeah.
I'm thinking I'm going to go the probably the upgrade route because I think that they want me to try. They're not telling me like like what I'm making the upgrade for, but they're giving me like a general idea.
Yeah,
Um,
basically making upgrade kits sort of thing.
yeah,
I can see
something
that.
like that. So
It works.
I'll go ahead and roll for that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna roll for weapons tech. Unless you think that rolling for basic tech is a better idea. They're both base 14.
Yeah. I would actually just roll your upgrade expertise one.
Oh, because like it says rolling for upgrade expertise, ability rank 2, stat tech 8, and then choose a skill.
Oh, I see what you're saying. And let's do basic tech, because that kind of covers everything
Yeah, that's fine.
that you could be
Or-
doing during the day. Weapon is more weapon specific, and I could see it maybe doing
19?
it. Let's see. 826. Not bad. So yeah, you're able to produce pretty well on that.
If I find anything that's further helpful for our cause,
You're noticing that a lot of their technology is similar in a lot of ways, but there's some strange components and stuff to it that the work is almost harder a bit, because some of the stuff is like experimental
me.
concepts
Yeah.
almost, or something to you,
makes sense.
where you're like, you're able to do your job and perform well, but it's just it's a bit odd. Why do they do it this way? What how do they make this work? It's definitely
sense.
not the standard tech you're used to.
All right. Yeah, I kind of feel that way as well. Like that's probably like whenever I said yesterday that like I had a hard day at work, this is exactly what I was talking about. Like I'm not completely not familiar with this tech, but my I'm getting by just with my expertise and my my aptitude. So yeah.
Correct.
I don't really know much about the different gear and tools in Cyberpunk.
Mhm.
I want to try to get something that could possibly help. I also don't really know what I'm interacting with in my day-to-day jobs, but if I am able to interact with something that could possibly help Zid with what he's trying to do, I would like to try to procure some type of item to help in that aspect. I mean, I know, like originally he wanted like a cyber deck, but like me, I don't know if that's something that we could like jury rig to work, or if we'd have to steal a cyber deck and then get Doc to steal a bunch of medical supplies so we could try and install it and Zit. Like, I don't know how that works. So.
Yeah, no, that's all good. Do a conversation check, and we'll see if you're able to basically dialogue with some people like, hey, a friend was really trying to get some, after hours entertainment. He's a net runner. He just really wants to be able to, able to use his cyberware a little bit. You guys have heard anything on that sort of thing? Oof.
That's great. I even used luck on that.
Ooh.
Yeah, the fun of when you roll a nat 1 on the system, you then get to subtract from your roll. You started with a 12 and you subtracted down to a 10.
I mean, at least I got my base.
I was gonna say, at least you cleared that.
Yeah. So you were like conversing, but you notice that it's not quite going as far as you want it to. People seem to be a little bit cagey. They're just not as open as you'd expect them to be. Even with your conversation skill, it's like they're worried or nervous. And you can't quite get past that barrier yet.
That's fair. I feel like Seamus, like, maybe even Seamus causes that because he kind of expects that, so he's not quite laying it on as thick as he usually does to get kind of what he wants, because he's expecting to get the kind of the cold shoulder, and maybe even causes that himself because people are kind of wary of it.
Sure. So then the time ticks around to when you guys are going to do your unofficial meetup. Who would be paying attention to date time a lot? Would any of you? Doc would?
Yeah, I think he would.
Like, would you just focus on like the actual time, or would you focus on like the date?
I feel like Seamus probably does too. Just kind of more of like keeping track of like how long we're here and stuff.
Yeah, I think that's the same.
Okay. So let's have you guys roll. What would it be? Deduction. You can see deduction working.
Sure.
Yeah, deduction.
You gotta be kidding me.
Very nice.
I didn't see
You
what
want
you
to
got.
solid it? He got a 14.
Those of
Or
you,
no, Seamus got an 18.
18. Those of you who are who would focus on it realistically, yeah.
Well, I think I
roll.
probably would as well. Let's see. Okay, I got 19.
Nice. So, Seamus in Blackstone, as you guys are going throughout your day, something's bugging you. You keep checking the clock and you're trying to remember what it is that's bugging you, and you notice you finally are able to figure it out. Same date as yesterday.
Nope, don't like that.
Yeah, not one bit. Hey, guys? Why is it the same day as it was yesterday?
What you mean, Choom?
Doc
I
would
mean, look at
realize
your-
it once you guys pointed out to him, but he didn't initially catch that.
Like, look at the date on the wall. Like, look at the clock and the day. Like, is it okay? Does the wall have like just the date, or does it have the day of the week as well?
Oh, you guys have on your HUD, you have basically
Okay, yeah.
date time.
Okay, but does it have like day of the week as well, or does it just have the date?
Just date time.
Okay. So I remember, yes, like I remember quote unquote yesterday, it not being like our monikers were, our names were still O2, and I remember that day being the same day, and we just woke up, and it's the same day.
Now that you're thinking
So-
about it, that was the same day that you started too.
What did you all do for work yesterday? Like specific tasks.
I remember they had me doing like making upgrade kits.
What did you do for work today?
Did the same thing. They made upgrade kits.
Zid, what did you do for work yesterday?
Well, there was a problem with some tier work in the network. Some of the tiers were not tagged correctly, and it was
Okay, I've got no
making-
idea what you're talking about. Did you do the same thing today?
Oh yeah.
Like, Is that unusual, or?
I mean, I thought that it was mostly fixed. So yeah, I does seem. I don't know. You could say it's like that they created a problem for themselves. At least a skeptical man might say so.
Let's
So-
quickly have, while you're talking, Zed, go
Yeah,
ahead and
that's
roll a deduction as well.
So, I work on making kits. Zid works on a network. Seamus, you make deliveries. So none of these are things that can talk back, or none of these look really this like they look the same, like boxes, network, upgrade kits. But Doc works on fixing other people. Does Did you recognize anyone today from yesterday?
I was actually gonna try conversation, so I would have probably noticed that a bit. If they're the same people.
Yeah, go ahead and roll a check on that. Zid, you do notice that the architectures were very similar, like they're set up, but it was different. It was slightly different floor design. So you could tell they seemed like they were made by the same, or someone who's trained by the same teacher, because they're very similar setups, but they were slightly different.
Okay. So
So
I
it wasn't
guess what he would
identical,
say-
but it's very similar.
Yeah. He would say, you know what this feels like? He says, it feels like I'm a teacher's assistant checking off student work. All in the same class, the same professor, checking off their work and correcting whatever they did wrong. That's what it feels like.
You know, because you're the expert, right?
Yep. You could call that.
Yeah, this makes me feel similar.
Is there
Like-
anything that I can roll to determine, like, if some of my deliveries or interactions or anything were pretty, like, more than just possibly delivering to the same room that's,
Yeah.
2 days in a row, but more
Um,
feeling like this package kind of feels similar to what I did yesterday already.
I could see business tactics, maybe composition, streetwise. I could see any of those working for that.
Let's see.
And
I would
I'm just
absolutely
suggesting
love
skills that I think of.
Streetwise.
You guys are always welcome to say, could I use this skill in this way for this? And suggest options as well. I'm just suggesting what comes to my mind. And I, by no means, claim to be omniscient on this.
Streetwise works for me, absolutely.
Go for it.
Well, fingers crossed it works for me. That's not bad.
There's some similar, and there's some similar locations that you deliver to, but they are slightly different orders.
Okay.
And part of what you do isn't necessarily do the delivery yourself, but you go around and check what orders are needed to go where and, source and connect things. As, a fixer does. It's very similar, but with the roles you guys have been able to get, you do detect that slight shift. So it's not identical day. So you're not doing Groundhog Day, luckily. But it is still disturbing that it's almost the degree of repetitive that people dread in a job. There's not really much variation.
I don't feel like we're repeating exactly what we did the day before. But it's a bit too similar for my taste. Like, that's one thing to do mundane tasks and have to do the same thing over and over at a job. This feels a bit different.
So for me, and that's an excellent point that actually helps a lot. It makes me think with the information that I've gained, and this is me trying to double and triple speak again. It makes me think that they don't really have all their ducks in a row. It makes me think that what they're trying to do isn't working, or it's not working the way that they want it to, and they're having to make adjustments on the fly, and not all those adjustments are working the way that they want them to. So that makes me think that there are holes in their armor, so to speak, that are exploitable. And I think that maybe a day or two more of doing these repetitive tasks will give us even more information that will be helpful in giving us a shortcut up the ranks.
An open field is most dangerous when it's sown with mines.
And the more information that we have, the more that we can see those mines and avoid them.
Also our own.
Yes.
Seamus kind of looks at Zid at this point and is like, it's very sympathetically, but he says, "Are you okay with working for them for a bit to get what we need to get?"
He says, you know those elastic leashes? I've only got so much elastic, but until it's at its most taut, I'll be alright.
And I will look at Zid and I will say, I appreciate you, my friend. I know this isn't easy, and given our similar situations, I commiserate with you.
Yeah, so he's happy to move with it for a bit longer. You get the sense that that's not gonna last forever. He's not gonna keep on pounding. And the longer that he does this, the more of a sense that you would feel that he wants to institute change upon the situation. Right now, we've only been here for a couple of days in the grand scheme of the work side of this, but the longer that goes on, the more antsy he'll be to do something.
All right.
Well, it sounds like we need to continue to gather information for now.
I'm gonna go into info gathering mode.
Did you want to try to tamper with his systems today, or you want to hold off on that?
I think I'll try to. I'll give tampering a try.
Okay.
Basic
Now.
tech or cyber tech.
Cyber.
Not the
No.
electronic and security, right? Just cyber.
Yeah. I believe it's just straight cyber tech. Before you roll,
Okay.
though, let's talk
Yeah,
this over.
please. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, cyber tech.
Mhm.
If you do want to roll electronic security tech, that could give you some other info.
Okay.
To do the actual modification will be the cyber tech. Since Doc
Yeah,
is there
cyber-
to aid you, it's a good thing.
Yeah.
If you
Okay.
get a 13 or lower,
Mhm.
there's a good chance you trigger something.
Yeah.
If you
So my
get a 21 or greater, you may succeed. But it really is going to require a 24 or higher to guarantee your success. And I know that's hard, but this isn't normal.
yeah. No,
tech.
it's not. Yeah. So my cyber tech is a 14 base. My electronic security tech is a 8 base because I have no points in it. So I'm gonna go on with cyber tech.
Well, electronic security, like I said, would be something different. That's basically would essentially try to protect you. If you roll well enough, it would protect you from the worst of possibilities of failing the cyber tech check.
Oh, I get it. That makes sense. All right.
However, if you fail it, it triggers it as well. So it's one of these risk-reward things, right?
Yeah. So if I hit a 9 and under, I'm hosed.
Yeah. So if
my
you get a
base being
15 or
8,
greater for your electronic security, then basically that gives you kind of a warning buffer for your other one.
That's fair.
Depending on how far above that you get, gives you how close, right, of protection.
Sure.
But if you fail it, you still trigger the same catastrophic event. So it's...
All right.
I want to make sure I laid it out clearly for you because this
you
isn't
did. It's fine. So if
non-normal.
either way, if I miss, I'm screwed.
Correct.
The electronic security gives me a buffer if I succeed. So given that I need a 9, I need a 9 not to fail. And my base is an 8. I'm gonna add a luck point and cross my fingers that I don't get a crit fail. That will at least give me. That will cross my fingers that I don't crit fail. That'll at least give me the buffer I need for my cyber tech roll, right?
And that's why I kind of wanted to lay it out because it's not a standard thing.
Absolutely, makes sense. 5.
Okay.
14.
So you notice that it is a non-standard cyberware. It's organic more than you would expect within his system, which is why it's so awkward. And there is warning switches that you're noticing, like certain aspects to it, that if you hit the nerve or something, he could go blackout and it could call security on you.
Okay.
And it is hardwired into his system.
Okay.
So now you have alleviated the finding that you're able to alleviate the absolute catastrophic event that could happen with cybertech if you fail. So now you can roll that check and see if you succeed or not. If you succeed high enough, that means he has access to it now.
Okay. So I'm preparing mentally.
Yep.
For the operation that I'm about to do. I'm getting into a good mental headspace in character, obviously. Okay, so Zid, we're gonna do some stuff to you, buddy. I'm gonna do some stuff, and
Doc's working with you because the organic side
Doc
of it
is right there,
Yep.
and there's I'm gonna give it to you straight. There's a very small chance that you may experience adverse effects, but I believe I have done all that I can to alleviate that happening. So I'm pretty good with this stuff, but I wanted to give you a heads up that if something happens, I didn't tell you that it wasn't gonna happen. So here we go.
He says, safe word, man.
Yeah,
If I am not myself when I come out of this, you will know. Just ask me, are you dead, man? And I'll say, yeah, man. That's me, man.
Yeah, I hear you. Okay,
Nice.
so I'm gonna blow my other 2 luck, even though I want this to work.
Yeah.
So here goes nothing. 23.
Ooh.
Wow.
So he has it temporarily available and intermittently available. So you succeeded, but it's not a permanent on.
Yeah.
What we'll do is we're going to roll a check every night
Sure.
to see if it's on or off.
If during that, so is there a way for me to make it permanent later?
Potentially. That was the
Okay, that's
24
fine. No,
up
no, no.
check, but
That's cool.
that's the thing. You hit the 21, which is good because now it's on sometimes.
Sure. We just have to make sure it's on. So
And, yeah.
when we do make the check, is it like a 21 each time?
No.
Okay.
The check every night is just a straight flat roll.
Okay.
It's basically we roll a die. If it's top half, you're good. Bottom half, it's
Yeah.
not, right? We can actually just make it be a D6. On a
Yeah.
4, 5, 6, it's on.
Great.
Now, if you want to
sounds
try
good.
the thing again later,
Yeah.
you might be able to. But for now, at least he has it working some.
Zid,
I'm on.
are you dead?
Um,
All right. How do you feel?
he says, I can see the colors.
Seamus like slaps Blackstone on the back without thinking about it. Like this probably a little too hard, but it's definitely a congratulatory slap. You know that, but it's probably a little hard. Like he's a little more excited.
That was me. That was the in character throat clear from being smacked in the back.
Yeah.
Nice.
Thank you. I
Thanks.
appreciate that. That really helped.
I thought
It's
you were
just-
going to kill him.
I was
The way he's
close.
twitching there for a minute.
I was close.
Thought he really was dead.
It's touch and go. We did it, man. So we'll see. I can tell you that we're gonna have to probably. It's gonna be kind of a jerry rig. It's gonna be something we have to look after every day. Couldn't quite get it to the permanent part, but we can try again later. But for now, we'll just we'll check every night and we'll see how it works.
So, if Zid wants to roll a d6, he'll be the one who can tell if it's on or off because he's able to see, right?
Cool.
Do you want me to do that now?
If you want to, yeah. It can either be a d6, d10, whatever. I just figured d6 is easier. It's a little bit lower. You can just do /red d6. Yeah, there you go. And 1, so it is off tonight.
Yeah. He says, there was a flickering, man. Tonight might be too soon. We wait for tomorrow. We'll see what happens then.
But you
In the
did...
meantime, I can... Yeah, I saw it.
Yeah.
So until it could just
Yeah, so,
like
so he
the-
confirmed it worked.
yeah.
So he's able to confirm, yes, you are right, it did work, but it's not working tonight. It's a little bit fickle. Sometimes their override code basically still takes effect and turns it off. Other times it does send the command to terminate, but it fails to actually hit.
This reminds me of when you were trying to activate Windows way back in the day, and you looked for all those
Yes.
all those activation keys, and you kept trying.
Yes, exactly that. Exactly that.
Yeah.
That is his
36
janky.
fucking discs.
Ah, man. Those days. Yes.
I'm missing disc 27. What am I going to do?
Oh. Oh, man. Yeah.
I'm glad that went well.
Yeah, that was...
I know it's not going to work for you tonight, buddy, but at least there's a possibility. You got a 50-50 chance of it working every night. So
I'll take those odds.
absolutely, it's better than having it not working at all.
Indeed. So, that evening, anything you guys want to try to work on?
So we're still O's. I would really like to figure out if there's a way, how I can move up to a Y, if possible. Is there a way for me to figure out like?
Do a conversation.
Let's do it.
Basically, you're trying to glean the info, talking with people, finding out
Yeah.
about, how it works. How does
promotion.
promotion happen?
Oh God, my this is a base of 5, so I can't say if it's gonna go very well, and I have no luck, so I'm basically screwed. We'll see. That's not good. 8. Probably had to clear a 9 for that.
People are just puzzled how you don't know how the system works. It's like, you're promoted when
Yeah.
you're supposed to be, man.
Cool. No worries.
No shortcuts. You just gotta work hard and show that you mean the best for the complex.
Anything about like human perception?
Human perception would
so.
tell you how much the people actually believe what they're saying, but
Sure.
not
I don't think-
necessarily
yeah, it's fine. No worries.
resolve the other one.
All good.
Doc, Sid,
so-
Seamus? Yeah, Doc?
I pick up anything when I was back at work. Any information people saying. So they pointed out. I'm just trying to remember if the people came in with the same problems or was different people.
It was different
Same
people. Yeah.
Different people, different problems.
Different people, different problems, some similar. It's
Okay.
similar enough where you're like, okay, I'm fixing legs again. Okay, I'm fixing more lacerations. Okay, I'm doing
almost too. It's random, but not. Maybe not naturally random. It looks a little too artificially random.
almost.
Possibly. Yeah, it's hard to say.
So it's not the same day. Like they're almost saying, is it Groundhog Day sort of scenario, right? Where it's the same day, the same exact thing repeating. It's not quite that. But it's enough of the exact same that it's almost tiring. Because, you get the job where you're just doing the same mundane task repeatedly. It feels kind of like that. It's just
If
like,
I had any chance to talk to anyone, I was going to go back to the room with our supplies.
Okay.
Did anyone go there or no?
Back to
I haven't been
the
back.
stash?
I don't
Not
think
yet.
I don't think anybody's been back.
Not
No.
yet.
They had you meet up with them to do some work on Zid. And you were able to jimmy rig his cyberdeck-ish
Node
thing
sensor? Sure.
to do that. So
What does this cyber deck look like? Is it a?
it's
actual
not.
piece
It's
of
not.
tech?
No. It's internal components, and that's why instead of it being a tech piece that Blackstone could do and just work on, they had to have your help because you know the human body.
Biological cyber deck?
Something like that. It's weird. You did confirm it's not a physical cyber deck within him. But there is components connected, artificial organ that is connected on the optical nerves. And that's why you had to be really careful.
And that would explain the HUD as well. They have some organic tech that they're able to quickly mass produce, unless they already have a bunch of our bodies lying around with the stuff in it. Okay, yeah, he doesn't verbalize any of that. He's going through it in his head, and it only proves some other stuff that he's considering. But
Yeah.
like, there's a couple of things he's going through. So he's going to wait until he has a chance to be by himself again.
Hey, Doc. You're looking for a target, man.
Nope, not at all.
Would you like one?
Even though he said not at all, but he looks over at you like side eyes. Looks like he's interested.
He says, makes me wonder what might happen. What are the protocols if two people were got into a fight, man? What if you sort of try to rough me up on the morrow. Just test the protocols.
Plenty of other targets.
Yeah, man, but we can just see what happens.
You don't want to spar a little bit?
Plenty of other targets.
Fair enough. Zed'll take that, but it was an interesting consideration.
Now,
You probably noticed enough with him and Seamus. If you really want him to beat you up, probably have to get Seamus to help you out with that. Because he,
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Seamus.
Zed, I'll tell you this. Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to just give a tidbit. Seamus probably in his past has been fairly skilled at creating bar brawls and breaking bar brawls up to spare Doc from getting his head cracked. So Seamus is probably fairly proficient with riling people up and down.
So Zed would isolate Seamus, and he would give him a theory, double talk all the way, and he would say about the HUD, he would say about what he sees, he would say that when we went into, the other area, that different things were listed, error and whatever, just different things. And Zed wants to do this experiment where we can be in a room where there's a fight to see if our HUD information changes and to see if there's any artifacts to those changes, and to see what the protocols are, if people come running, if security does the things as well. But he's interested to see the HUD, he's interested to see the protocol, and he asks Seamus what he thinks about this idea, and maybe Seamus might be able to provoke a fight somehow with his skills.
Are you telling me that you want Doc to beat you?
It says, I mean,
Might
you
not
can
be a
use
good
your
idea.
you can use your initiative. He said maybe you could, I don't know, not yourself, but perhaps get two other people that aren't us involved in a fight with each other.
Oh, I
if
could do
you
that. That's
Yeah.
not a problem.
As long as we're in vision, just so that we can see what happens, right? I want to see what happens.
I think we should, when you're ready, I think we should all go have a drink. One night,
Oh man, I'm very
just see what happens.
All
I'll
right.
call-
Rolling my
Very
human
nice.
perception.
Oh, I did that.
alcohol
For a
is super
reason.
right now.
Doc, during work, you were able to acquire a few components that you could use to make some basic pharmaceuticals that could be desired uppers to assist your friend and give him a slight bonus on his riling people up check.
I love that. Make it officially a riling people up check. It's great.
Yeah, so something I wanted to do, but then I go, oh, wait a minute. So you said I have this stuff or it's available?
Yeah, you're able to
Procure it.
procure a little bit because we know how you feel about pharmaceuticals.
So I basically, I pull Seamus aside when we have a chat. So if we can go to our storage room there where we have our stash room.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think I can, if you're going to rile people up, I think I might be able to help you. And while he's saying that, he's mixing up a few things and putting it into the air hypo. if you're interested. And he has a smile on his face. There shouldn't be any side effects, but I don't have all my gear with me.
You want me to drug people to get them to fight?
This is for him to give him a bonus.
Yeah, this is for Seamus.
Basically,
this- yeah,
it's
this- no.
the rile people up bonus.
No. These are stimulants and stuff to help you.
You're always trying to just make me take stuff, inject me with stuff that I don't even know where you got what you put in there.
What were the medical, the pharmaceuticals that you took?
Oh,
Do you remember which recipes you took? I was trying to find that. You got rapid detox. Is that all you took?
yeah. That's why I only have access to the one.
Okay.
Right now.
So basically,
Yeah, it's something that I can make for myself. Yeah,
yeah,
it's a special one.
you see how you do. That's good. That's good. Yeah, you basically make essentially, you were going to like Fallout, something like Psycho, right? For like here, it's a rage boost, where it basically ups their aggression.
Oh, so it's not for Seamus then? It's for someone else.
I mean, it would be a combat stimulant.
Yeah. So this would be more suited for me or someone else that he's going to be.
It would rile them up easier.
Yeah.
And
Okay. Sorry,
they
I thought it
could-
was something to give Seamus. So give him the thing of the drug.
Basically, it will.
Yeah.
Mechanically, it'll wind up being if he uses it and does a what is it called? The stealth thing. Conceal object. Conceal reveal. And basically we'll use that as kind of you drop it in their drink. If he's able to do
So I
that,
made a pill.
then
Okay, that makes more
you can do it in pill form, is basically what I'm saying. And you basically drip it or drop it, whatever it is, in their drink. Then when he does the check to rile them up and get them to fight, it's going to be nearly guaranteed.
Okay. So rewind what I said. It's like
All good.
basically he's not, it ends up putting something in a hypo. He's making a paste, and he's making these crude pills. And he's leaving them out. He's like, okay, once these dry, you just have to drop them into like, don't get them wet until you're ready. Drop them in a drink, something, and they will dissolve quickly. And with your persuasiveness, you can probably rile someone up to start a fight with someone else.
I don't think we'll have a problem with that at all.
But this is if we're looking for some distraction or some information as a result of this, this will pretty much guarantee it. I think.
You know, I don't like when you add that to the end of your prescriptions.
This is awesome. Fantastic.
Hey, I'm not a doctor. I don't do prescription and pharmaceuticals, at least not in that sense. I've been telling you that for a while.
And yet you keep making medicine, or
This is not medicine. These are.
it's a pill. That's the same thing.
I'm more of a street chemist, and I just know a few things.
He's a chef. He just knows how to cook things well.
You can call me. Don't call me Dr. White, though. You can call. I'm not a doctor.
All right. Well,
But before we go, I'm going to try something. And I sit back down and I try to force myself out again. Now, because I've done it before, it's almost like at least attempted it with mild possible success. Maybe. Do I get any bonus?
It may be harder to do it today because they may have upped your dosage or locked down the system, sort of thing.
That's totally fine. Okay, no bonus. That's fine. I'm still gonna attempt it with my last luck point.
Go for it.
And
Never know what happens.
Yep.
That's the fun of these games, right?
22.
Ooh,
One more if I'd gotten the 10.
damn it!
Yep. If you'd gotten that, it probably would have worked. But, as is, you kind of have the same similar experience, but it's a bit harder to do it this time. You almost feel like your senses leave your body and then get like snapped back. And it's a more forceful snap back this time than last time. Almost like something or someone is there saying, no, you don't.
All right.
So you're able to get a bit, but you're shoved back harder, and like you're feeling more fatigued and drained mentally now.
All right. I'll let you know. I think this isn't real. And I almost got out a couple times, but looks like they're watching me. I'm gonna. Hopefully they won't do too much. Hopefully I didn't alert them too much. I'll try it again, maybe in the morning after I get some rest. But as I said, I think we're. It's hard to say if we're. Like, I don't think we're in here, even though all the sensations seem to be real. This is obviously, these aren't our bodies, and the fact that we're still more or less us makes me believe that our bodies are somewhere else. Either this isn't real, or they have a way of mass producing bodies well enough and then transferring our intelligence, which doesn't seem right. As I said, I'll try it again. Try in the morning. Maybe I'll have more luck after I've rested a bit.
Seamus, you're looking at Doc and you see a little bit of blood dripping down his nose. Like someone had just whaled his nose or something.
Yeah, Seamus like puts a hand on Doc's shoulder and looks like has this really concerned look for you for a minute. And he's like kind of looking into your eyes, and he looks very, very concerned. And then he says, "You don't fucking say. I know we're not here. This isn't our bodies. We've known this the whole time." And he like grabs your own sleeve and wipes your nose and turns on the seal and walks away.
I almost got out. Like, if I get out, then I will have plenty of targets. As he's leaving.
All right. So did you want to try to do your bar brawl to test out Zid's theory?
I guess it's, do you guys want to do it tonight, or did you have other plans you need to set forward first, or?
I reckon we do it, man. It sounds great. It sounds
I need-
cool.
I need a beer. Let's go.
I figured you guys would try to be, not partake, but viewers.
Oh yeah, especially definitely Seamus, but didn't know if the others needed to prepare first.
Yeah, it's all good. Just want to make sure I understood correctly. That's the feeling I got from what you were saying.
I want to be alert. Yeah, alert to the changes. He suggested this. He wants to see everything as much as possible.
All right.
They're supporting me. I'm the one that needs the alcohol.
All right. So you guys go to get a drink, and
I'm gonna get some to drink too. Maybe it'll help with my headache.
That's an excellent idea, Doc.
so you guys go to
You
get a drink and
probably
relax.
should drink after you've taken your street medicine.
Sorry, I missed that. Nathan, say that again.
I said, you probably shouldn't drink after you've taken your
No,
street
no, it
medicine.
was you who we're gonna give it to the targets.
No, not that. The
What's your-
the stuff that's making you talk all crazy and making your nose bleed again.
I think I'll be fine. He's
I love this.
I need a good sleep. I need to forget the day and get a good night's sleep.
Seamus does want to ask Zid before we go. Is there any specific level of person that you want to see pitted against each other? Any specific rank or anything?
He says maybe just a couple, like at least 2 people of different ranks, right? He doesn't want to see all just one rank. He doesn't care right now what rank or whatever. I think just at least that there's 2 of different ranks, just in case there's any glitches or weirdness. And that might be a good reason for them to have a fight in the first place, though Zid knows nothing about provoking it. But that's kind of what he says. He's looking for the best opportunity to find anomalies, to see patterns.
Alright.
I do have a slight question. So regarding ranks, maybe there's something about the highest rank that's special. Somebody that is that high of a rank, like they have a specific background that lends them to not being provoked as easily, and if they are provoked, then that shows the possibility of an artifact or more information. Does that make sense?
It's interesting theory.
It does.
So like if maybe the U's don't really, maybe they don't come in to get drinks very often. Maybe they're so focused, they're so task oriented and so focused on goals that maybe that they rarely come in. And like if there's a U in the bar, then that's an extremely rare event, and maybe they're under a certain level of stress that lends them to artifacting if they get pushed over the edge, quote unquote.
I will say you've not seen a U.
Okay.
Probably haven't seen
I
V.
think-
The highest you've seen is probably I.
Okay.
And they're rare that you've seen.
Okay.
Let's say to Seamus, just let's see the fallout. This is the first time we've tried it. Let's just see it first, and then we'll work out if we need to do it again with different ranks, and
Makes sense.
Seamus would just like once we get there, just kind of observe, like take note of what ranks and who's there, and kind of who is at the bar. Look for somebody stressed more than maybe others, or something like that first.
Yeah, you see a number of them. You need a human empathy to kind of gauge that better, but you see ranks of B and down. You don't see any above that here.
So somebody that's like a G and a B would be good, or maybe do you want B in yellow or B in Y rather? Would it make a difference?
I was thinking we're orange right now, so I was kind of thinking that it's probably likely that it's going to be easier for me to strike up a conversation with someone on our level, unless we've gotten an idea of like how the hierarchy works here. Like, do the higher ranks at what point do the higher ranks become, like looking down on the rest of us, kind of thing?
Instantly. You've noticed that every color above kind of is like, you're below me. You have to listen to what I do, to any color below.
Yeah, so Seamus is definitely going to pick another orange. For sure.
Keep in mind, you do know with what Doc gave you, if he is correct in his diagnosis of it, if you get it in their drink, it may not matter because they may just get irked off at anything and go to physical violence, like at the snap of a dime. Just smallest thing may cause them to go bonkers.
All right. Is there a human empathy? I know you said human
There
empathy. I don't
is human
see
perception. It's an empathy
human
skill.
perception. Okay, gotcha.
Human perception,
I'm gonna
empathy.
roll that first to see if I can gauge kind of who's like what
Yeah.
kind of person.
That gives you kind of a
Not too bad,
view of
12.
how people are feeling. You get a view of like their agitated state and everything, right? That's what the perception.
So I want to look. Gotcha. I want to look for an orange that is kind of seems a bit more agitated than others. Like not unapproachably agitated, but just kind of, maybe off by themselves, hunched over their drink, looks a little bit pissed off.
Okay. I wouldn't say you find one that seems like he's showing that exactly, but you do see one by himself that is just kind of like.
Gotcha. And I think Seamus would just strike up a conversation with him, just kind of, like maybe buy him a drink, find out what's going on with him, see why
Sure.
he's over here by himself.
Sure. So you find out that he was sent on a mission, kind of like you guys were, different one though, in that one of his teammates that he was close to, you got to watch them get healed. So he's a bit on edge and uncomfortable with getting to witness that.
And you said there is a higher. Let me see. You said there's a higher rank here, right? Probably pick a yellow that's like maybe being boastful or even if they're not talking loud or being boastful, just kind of looks like it. And like lean in closer to this guy. That must have been what fellow over there was talking about. He's a bit laughing about it earlier.
He looks at you puzzled. Go ahead and roll a persuasion. Since you're trying to persuade him.
15.
Nice.
He's like, what? He wasn't even there. How would he even know about that?
I don't know. I heard them telling the story to some of his pals and laughing a bit about it. You don't know him?
No. I don't either. Wasn't for the issues that created when you do so, I'd go over there and smack his head.
I'm gonna grab like the drink I'm buying him at this point, kind of slide it over, and see
Okay.
if I can drop that item in his drink.
Sure. Do a conceal object. It's a perfect opportunity for that.
Oh,
You gotta be shitting me, dude.
Ooh, that's rough.
I used my last 2 luck on that too.
oh.
Roll a conversation while you're at it. Just basically how the conversation's going. Because it is
I mean, I can roll that.
well, no, it's the point is it's above minimum. So if the conversation is high enough, which it is, then that just passes because you didn't drop below a 9. 9's kind of like the basic lowest, easiest task, right? So if you get it below a 9, it means you didn't succeed. That's a simple task. And so you distracted him well enough that you didn't quite get every day which is kind of where it was required to be. But you've distracted him enough that he's riled up a bit. He didn't quite see you drop it in it. He's a little suspicious because the way you moved it over, but the conversation was to basically see if you dissuade him from thinking anything about it, right? You're just talking normally. Just how you move.
Yeah, I'm gonna grab like my drink,
Mm-hmm.
like exactly the way I slid his over, like over the top of the cup
Yeah.
or glass or whatever, and kind of sip it. It's like looks super weird, but
Yeah.
Seamus looks like that's the way he drinks to kind of cover it up.
And that works with your conversation skill, where you kind of basically smooth it over with that little bit of, awkwardness. Yeah. So he drinks it, and you notice he seems like he's turning a bit red. Like his anger is getting built up more and more.
Yeah, you're doing all right there. You're not looking so good.
I'm not feeling good either. Like, you start hearing that breathing increase, and that, like, you can definitely tell. If you could get the other guy to actually say or do anything to kind of, like, show it more, this guy's, like, so close on the verge of snapping. He believes what you said, and he's doing everything he can to hold himself back from just going over and wailing on this guy. The slightest thing is going to push him over the edge.
Get him to look at him, right? Is to get the
Potentially
higher rank guy to look at this guy. Yeah, maybe.
So
I mean, I would. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I was going to say,
If you
like,
got something you wanna interject.
like so someone's mental state, it's entirely possible that just their mental state changing to something of, like, filled with rage and anger could affect the way that they show up on the HUD. So.
Mm-hmm.
Do we see anything trigger?
You see a warning sign. Basically,
Is it like one of those exclamation points with
Yeah.
the triangle around it? Okay.
Yeah.
I think I'm looking down at my drink, and I'm looking over at him, and I'm like, okay, I think this is starting to work. I
Yeah.
see it too, right?
Yeah, no, as he took the drink,
Yeah,
it actually, like, his heart rate and breathing accelerated, and that's when, bing, the warning sign popped up.
So I look over, I like make eye contact.
I mean, it didn't actually ding, but, like, you're watching it, and that's right when it showed up.
Mm-hmm. And
I grab Blackstone and I
Mhm.
walk with him, like, past the higher rank guy, and I
Mhm.
say to Blackstone, so that the higher rank guy can hear, hey, don't look now, but that guy's got a warning sign over his head over there, in the hopes
But he'll
the
look.
higher rank guy just looks over there, right?
Nice. Let's have you roll a conversation or persuasion, something like that.
This is not my thing. Conversational
Is there a way I
persuasion.
can help? Because I think my conversation is not terrible. Oh no, my conversation is putrid. Human perception, I can maybe help a little bit because I've got a base of 7.
Alright, well, I will use conversation. Yeah, that's fine.
I
Just
think
go.
I have a better out of the three of us.
Yeah, but I didn't
yeah, but you
grab
didn't
you,
count. Yeah.
unfortunately.
I think you went back to the room. Right?
Oh,
I mean,
10.
that's a roll.
I think you have the best.
19.
Very good.
There you go.
My best roll tonight.
That's
by
a-
a long way.
Very
Hey,
good.
that's a time you want a 19 to show up. So you see him
Absolutely.
look over. Of course, he still has a smirk on his face because he's been bragging about how, he got promoted
Oh,
and
yeah.
everything's so cool. So he just looks over at the guy with a smirk on his face, and you see the other guy lunge over the table at him and just, like, go straight for him.
Alright,
Seamus
watching real
immediately
carefully.
disappears from that general area where that guy just was.
So I take it Blackstone and Zid continue across the room and, like, preparing to exit the
Yeah.
door.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, but I just want to see, like, Zid is looking at every prompt that comes up. Every change, he wants to see everything that happens. So he's probably moving slower because he's paying more attention. If he gets hit, he gets hit. But
as soon as that happens, you all get a new message. Warning. Exit canteen. Basically, the
Everybody, or
cantina.
just the 4 of us?
No, all of you get a
Okay.
like everyone seems to start moving towards the exit, except you hear and just the sound of like bone on bone smacking as this guy just straight in headbutts and punches and just starts wailing on this guy, like straight up brutal pounding. With absolute rage.
oh, what have we done?
Beyond normal human physical strength. You know, like they talk about people when they somehow get the extra strength in a moment of necessity and lift a car. It makes no sense. Because under any other circumstance, they wouldn't be able to. That's the status of this guy right now.
Wow, my drugs are really good.
On that note, Seamus is steering Doc out of the cantina 100%.
You actually see security officers come charging into the room and just light him up to the point where you can't see
They
them.
shoot him?
Oh yeah, they put him down fast. Like they're like both doors
Wow.
have
Okay,
security
well, this
officers
says
come in and they just light them up.
Well
And
then.
you guys exit so that you don't get in the
Yeah.
fire
Wow.
zone.
Once we get far enough away, I lean over to Zed and say, "You sure you don't want me to punch you?" Once.
I say not if that's gonna happen. This got real for me real quick.
He says that, and he leans in, says that to you, and then he and he starts walking away.
Alright, I got you.
Zid, if it's any consolation to you, if Doc had gotten a hold of you, I don't know that you'd have gotten shot. Probably been over before that.
He nods and he goes quiet, like stunningly quiet.
Hulk smash.
Oh, this was a great scene. That's fantastic.
Oh man. You guys, it's that time, but hey, this has been awesome. This whole night has been
Absolutely.
great. You guys have made great progress. You found out a lot of the things going on here and caused some interesting things to happen. And I hope you guys enjoyed.
Absolutely.
So we'll pick up next
Bye,
time
puppy.
where you guys get to continue on with this adventure and see what other crazy things you guys do. Viewers, thank you all.
I think they're only clones.
Right. Thank you all for being here so much. Be sure to check these guys out. This would not be absolutely without these guys. Be sure to drop them a follow. And they give up their stream time, coming and joining me on this wild ride and adventure. Be sure to show them support and love as well. And be sure to join us next week as we continue this crazy time. And see what other madness can be had here. Till next time, as always, for the story. See you guys next time.